Oh, got one. Yes.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. It's time for the best damn comic book related podcast and YouTube show on all the interwebs. The Comics Aficionados here for about, 2.5 hours. Not a huge week as far as controversy or news, but we will make it happen, folks. We'll talk about our favorite horror comics. We'll talk about our favorite horror movies. A few of the things that came out this week. It's not looking good for the retail side. Thankfully, we do have two retailers here to talk about this today. I don't know about you guys, but here in my household, we are all sick. It just happened a couple of days ago. The temperature dropped about 10 or 15 degrees at night all of a sudden. And my two little boys got sick, and then the baby has gotten more sick. Unfortunately, the baby is in the hospital. We had to check him in with his mommy tonight. So definitely keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.
And hopefully he doesn't get pneumonia or anything crazy like that. So hopefully y'all are doing better than me. Somebody that's definitely doing better than me is Drew. You look like you're 15 again.
Yes.
How you doing, Drew?
Yeah, and actually someone just said there is a clone of Drew in the chat. Yeah, it's like,
See, what
Yes,
really
We have a
happened?
new intern on the Thinking Critical panel. His name's Drew.
yes.
What happened is real Drew went evil and killed everybody. So they brought teenage Drew from the past to the present to be current Drew.
Did
This
Bendis
sounds-
write this?
No,
that's an adventure story. That's a Tony Stark adventure story right there.
God damn it! You are right. Yes, it is. It is the Drew clone saga.
The Drew Clone Saga.
Right.
He decided to dress up for the Halloween spirit. He's dressed up like a 15-year-old nerd. Welcome to the channel, Drew. How are you guys doing at Comics Elite anyway?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We just did a video last night doing a sneak preview of Dark Knights of Steel #1. Comes out next week. And we have a great cover I'm going to show later toward the end. But yeah, it's been a good week. It was a good day yesterday.
Awesome. Also joining us is Jerome. You didn't dress up for the Halloween.
No. I wasn't there. I got caught out there. Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot it was Halloween. A little bit until
tomorrow,
yesterday. Right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's up, guys? How are you?
What is
Wonderful.
going on, Jerome?
Everybody's sick. All right, who else we got on the panel? We're supposed to have Jimmy from Comic Quirks, but he is the critical diva, so he'll show up when he wants to. We've also got Yul Carter, Fantastic Comics, representing Spidey. Is that your costume?
I guess if it has to be. I know it's Ben Reilly. Duh. Everybody knows that.
How's
Thanks
everything
for having
going
me.
in Berkeley, California? You guys having fun? Selling
Oh
comic
yeah. We had plenty of rain last week, but of course we needed it, which is horrible for selling paper products. I find.
Apparently.
And then of course what's worse for paper products than the rain is actually them not showing up. Which
We're
I guess
gonna
we'll talk
about
about
that. Blake Kramer says, wasn't Kurt Busiek supposed to explain Teen Tony?
Ew. Teen Tony.
Probably, but I don't think he ever got around to it.
No, it got
We got
dropped.
to do a
in bad
video
habit.
on like the 50 comics that were supposed to happen that they were still waiting on.
I'm still waiting for my JMS Jeff Loeb, J. Scott Campbell, Spider-Man. God damn it!
Oh,
I'm still waiting on that Kevin Smith, was it Bullseye Daredevil thing?
Bullseye- yeah,
Oh,
the
Daredevil,
Target.
the Target.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That never came out. Yeah.
Did he ever?
Did he
Number
ever?
1 did, not number 2.
Yeah.
Did he ever finish the Black Cat series that he was
I
supposed to?
think
The
so.
Evil That Men Do.
I think he followed up, but it was later. Yeah. But what about that Jim Lee with the Jim Lee and the Batman? That never got
Oh yeah,
quite-
All-Star Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
with
that
Frank Miller.
All-Star. Yeah, that never got finished at all. Yeah.
Where the fuck's our Mark Silvestri Batman that we were promised
Yes.
like 3 years
I
ago?
was there at C2E2 when we talked about it on launch day. He showed images. I'm like, where's it been? What's going on here? Nothing.
Yeah.
So we got Eric O'Sullivan in the house. Thank you so much. $25 super chat. That's very generous. And he says, for bags and boards and lawn boxes, Wes, God bless you. I'm filled with blessings and gratitude. Thank you for bringing us all together. Saturday morning cartoons. Cheers. Hey, panel. Hey, chat. Thank you very much. And we're glad to have you. We're going to have some geek speak here as we get ready for the big Halloween weekend. And we definitely appreciate you supporting the channel. It's, as I said, very generous. We've also got Kenneth Dowling in the house. with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, "Hi, folks. Wes, I wish a speedy and efficient recovery for you and your family, especially the little one. Drew and you guys are looking fresh and so clean. Ben Riley can never be Spider-Man." Yeah. How is it you're trying to pull off the fresh face too there, Yule, but you have 5 o'clock shadow 5 minutes later?
I do. It's true. You hit home on Secrets of Yule on an earlier episode a couple weeks ago. We don't want to get into that, but yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow thing is real. Also, I'm not really into going to town because I'm expecting it to show back up again. So it's not super neat. I think I'm going to go for a dirty stash soon. So that's what that's what I'm working on.
You can see
right
Drew's
now.
not going to have to shave or he won't have to worry for a month, and then his 5 o'clock shadow come.
I would suggest he did it at the wrong time. As it gets colder, I would probably want a beard more. But teach your own.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Lesson learned.
Definitely. Thank you very much to Kenneth Allen for supporting the channel. Very generous. We really appreciate that. Who else we got? Doc, you haven't said hello. What's going on in Pittsburgh? Is it Britsburg? Are you a Britt Baker DMD fan?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I love Britt. She's a local chick.
Yeah.
I actually think she might have worked at my dentist's office, but I never had her as a doctor.
Well,
if she's taking bumps in the ring, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't want that nerve damage going anywhere near my mouth.
It's a little mandible claw in your ass, put you out.
Yeah, exactly. They save a shit ton of money on anesthesia. She just takes care of it herself. No, I'm doing good this morning. It did get cold. We got one of those typical October cold fronts that came through, and all of a sudden every day since then has been 20 degrees colder than it was all of September. And yeah, I felt like I was getting sick a couple of times, but that's what some emergency and Mucinex are for, right to start the morning.
And we've got a pretty live crew here in the chats. We've got Tevye Smoka in the house. We've got the man so cool they call him the Breed. We got JP Rotka, David Anderson, Jasper Blade 9. Right, we got all the great people. Prater. So this should be a good. We also got Kenneth Dowling here. There's a reason all those titles you guys mentioned aren't coming out. Kevin Smith should not be writing comics. All-Star Batman and Robin was horrible.
Kevin Smith. It was terrible. He said.
Oh, okay.
He's still writing comics.
I still love All-Star Batman and Robin because of the absurdity of it.
Yeah, it's very over the top. You got to take that into account. Yeah.
I would love for it to be finished though, so that it could be. I mean, I'd be selling that all the time, and I could really use a new hot DC comic.
Yeah, I mean, just rename it. I'm the goddamn Batman. and it'll sell like a son of a bitch.
And make sure it's a black label book because you're going to do that.
Yeah,
got to.
In fact, do the last issues can be oversized, and then they can just put it all in a collected form.
Well, so we've also got the Critical Diva made it. It's Jimmy from Comic Quirks. How you doing, Jimmy?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
I
computer
like
issues right off the bat. That's why I'm late.
Nice.
I love it.
Looks like you're dressed up like one of the brothers from Night of the Roxbury. You're doing this. You got the little thing in the background. Is that a throwing star that you have on your wall?
It's funny. This is my roommate's. This was his room, and then when I moved in, he took the bigger room, and I was like, "You're gonna leave that because that's just cool." Yeah. And he was like,
"Okay, they all like throwing stars. Nothing wrong with that."
Like a shuriken.
I went the wrong way. Is it? Like a throwing star?
It looks like the top half is a throwing star, and they filed off the bottom parts of it.
Maybe it needs a handle, so it kind of is a punching dagger type thing.
Right.
Yeah. Slicer,
or it's some weird Canadian weapon that looks like a maple leaf.
Oh, there you go.
It's for Canadian ninjas.
Some villain in Alpha Flight will be using that.
I might just be a normal person and think it's just an LED light, though. That's just me.
What kind of lighting is that?
It's mood lighting.
LED.
You ever had to do the mood?
Yeah, I just have it on revolving from blue.
That's the new lava lamp, man.
To pink.
Oh, I see. Okay, very
Yeah,
good.
it's nice. Is it? Are you judging my lighting, man?
No, I was trying to get someone to say bisexual lighting.
You should.
My lighting's gender fluid. It just flows.
Oh, I see.
We got Lane Kramer says, "Hush, Kenneth, saith the goddamn Batman." There you go. Everybody loves the goddamn Batman.
And you know what? Kevin Smith, he did do good on Daredevil. I like that.
Yeah, and I'm not even.
Good.
I'm not even really a big Daredevil fan for like. I mean, I like him in the TV show a lot and movie stuff, but like comics, I'm not really a big fan. But Guardian Devil, he did good.
You don't like
He
the
did
Daredevil
real good.
comics if you've not read
don't like-
Frank Miller's Daredevil?
I read Frank Miller's Daredevil. It was okay.
Oh, okay.
No.
Not a big. Man, I just don't like Frank Miller that much. I'm sorry.
Is it because you know more about him than his work? I'm just
I like him more as a person than I do his work.
okay. Is that what I usually
Hey,
hear?
you will never find hotter takes than here on Thinking Critical.
We've
My
long
goodness.
we've long established that as much as I love Jimmy, his taste in comics is terrible.
That's not. I don't think so. I like
You like
stuff.
Jason
Well, obviously, you
Aaron.
don't think so.
Yes,
No,
I know
my-
you wouldn't think that your taste is terrible.
My favorite book by Frank Miller's 300.
Looks like we got
mean-
the guys from Sigma Comics in here. We've also got Hawk World, Tim Board. It was nice to see we got some people there. Tim's going to go to bed, I guess, listen to us be morons for a while. But I guess we should get into the show and talk about what's been going on. We've got Papergeddon within the comic book industry. First, it was the great manga shortage of 2021. Then we started seeing DC Comics having to delay a lot of their titles a week or two here and there. Then it's like 8 weeks delays. They started canceling omnibuses. Marvel started canceling omnibuses. And now Marvel has delayed 70 titles total over the next 3 months. How are you guys handling it, Yule? These could be big issues. This, people should be buying comics around the holiday season.
Yeah, it's going to make it very difficult. I've had in with an order from Viz since April, and I posted it at one time. And I think like it's October, so like 6 months have gone by, and I have not got most of what I ordered, including Demon Slayer, which everybody comes in and asks for, and all that stuff. And don't forget, it's bags and boards also. Silver Age, Golden Age, current. I know there's a lot of people that still have bags and boards, but even they are starting to see their supply chain dwindling. And
Dude, I've been waiting for Mylar to come in, like Silver Age friggin' Mylar for 3 months now.
yeah, it's bad. This whole thing is very bad, and some people, some doomsayers say that you're not going to get those first volumes or those early volumes of your Naruto or One Pieces until maybe a year from now. So,
Man,
23.
if only one demographic saw this coming in January. Who?
Critical thinkers.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yes, critical thinkers. Well, when this whole thing started, I was doing a few other shows also were inviting me on because there's no talking about comics, and they wanted to get like store owners on, and one of the first things I said was bags and boards.
Well,
Stock
didn't
up
one
on
of
them.
the big-
They're gonna be your best comic book.
Didn't one of the big bags and boards companies like stop making them
So you're
and
probably
went
talking about
somewhere with
BCW.
baseball?
BCW's had delays on their bags. They keep pushing the goalpost, if you will, for when you're going to get your stuff. And usually you order fat stacks because you don't know when you're going to get them again now. And shipping's a bitch. Shipping's going up. I'm sure Drew can talk about it.
Yeah, shipping is a bitch. And we've been lucky in the past because we're in Indianapolis, and one of the BCW plants is up near, I think, Anderson, Indiana, which is only like a 30-minute drive. So we just normally just drive up there, pick our supplies up, and bring them back.
Drew, your haircut
Nice.
is clean.
Thanks. Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw you up there, man.
Yeah. It's my Halloween costume this year.
It's
Yeah.
bisexual lighting.
But not just bags and boards, but top loaders too. Comic book top loaders and print top loaders. There's a big shortage on those too.
Yeah.
This is a big problem for us right now. Normally when FOC comes, orders come in, we don't have to typically worry. But now since books are getting pushed now, we're gonna have to. We're having to reach out to customers, be like, hey, this big order you got, you're gonna have to wait a week longer or two or a month for this extra book. So now we're going to hope that they're going to be like, okay, that's fine, I'll wait. Or they'll just cancel that one book, or they'll flip out and be like, this is the last time I'm ordering from you guys. Why are you doing this? Like, okay,
like it's our fault.
Yeah, which they do. I mean, they're not every customer does that, but some do that. Like we do it intentionally. It's like we're not the paper gods.
Oh yeah, like I'm sorry that we're dominating this so much, guys. Diamond, who was our main distributor for years now, they don't get something in. Customer comes in, maybe another store has it for whatever reason, and that's a pain also that we have to deal with. And customers can be very very flighty. Yeah. I mean, I have most of my customers are loyal 100%, but not every single one is. I don't buy. I mean, sometimes I buy stuff for the shelf, understanding that there's going to be other people from other stores coming in, but they're not going to be the regulars that I always count on. And then they'll go to another place and pick up that book that didn't get shipped to you. And now all this stuff is happening. I don't know, man, making money. If you don't have back issues or people that are willing to buy something from weeks before, because, this stuff isn't coming out. So you're going to have something to sell. Yeah. Thank God there's a lot of Batman.
Well, we're not even, you guys are mentioning like the supply stuff. We're not mentioning the fact that Jason Aaron's Avengers number 50 is going to be delayed a week and a half.
Like it can be delayed until 2090 for all I care.
We got to race to the end.
I'm trying to dip my feet back into it a little bit because that Avengers 50 cover by Ed McGuinness is beautiful.
I just saw that. That don't look bad. Yeah.
Just buy a poster. Bad. Yeah. Just buy a poster.
If I put a cool comic book cover on a dog turd, would you be excited about it?
Depends.
Is it dry?
Is it
Shiloh? Ed McGuinness covered dog turd. It's so good. We do have King KDI coming in here. He says, what a wonderful time to drop bad titles and say paper shortage. Cut the chaff. The problem will be shipping and handling as well. This is more down to labor shortage. We're starting to hear that the paper mills are basically at capacity due to the amount of personnel that they have right now. That is definitely true. We've also got another super chat from Wraith7. They could switch to printing on hemp paper. All right, Yule, what are the logistics of printing on hemp paper?
I love things that come from hemp. But I don't know about comic book. Like we're trying to do, they can't get that glossy ripple sheen that they always want in comic books with the hemp.
You get that sweet hemp smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still have that.
This hemp paper is really good. Batman.
I've been rolling with my comic books lately. It's so much better.
I just don't think it technically works that way. I've tried smoking my belt and it just doesn't do anything. Okay.
Yeah, I put my belt in my bong and lit it up. It's just not working, fellas.
Not at all. I mean, I might be getting high just by lack of oxygen. That's it.
Just oxygen deficiency highs.
Kenneth Dowling says, "Shout out to Jerome, a true player from the Himalayas."
Blessings to you, Kenneth. Thank you.
So one of the things that you was kind of hitting on there that I want to talk to you about, Drew. I know that you guys at Comic Fleet, you heavily invest in retail exclusive covers. We know that the guys over at 616 Comics invest heavily in retail exclusive covers. You kind of got to do some games to get around some of the stuff they're putting out right now and really generate enthusiasm. We know that Image Comics and whatever, they're kind of changing how they're doing retail exclusive covers. They're going to be returning less and whatnot. And, is that even going to become a less reliable revenue stream now?
It's already showing now because Venom #1, we had a retailer exclusive for that, and that's got bumped back. And we had one for Hulk as well, and that got bumped back. So now we really have to we're going to have to get a hold of Marvel, the reps, and be like, hey, what books are you thinking are going to end up being pushed? Because we have to know, because we're going to be counting on those sales that week, that month, possibly. So we need to get a hold of their reps, be like, hey, give us a heads up, what you may think, not what you know, but what you think could be bumped. That way we know what to plan for financially with some of these books. Because yeah, it's a big problem. It's turning into a big problem now.
Now, do you guys have to put like half down or pay for them ahead of time? Because then you've got money out the door and you're getting no return. You could be waiting for months on.
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it is that you put money down, but we'll split it up with other like other retailers, wholesalers. So it's not all directly on us.
Mitigate the risk, but
yeah,
it's money out the door that you're not getting a return on. You're waiting to get some profits on your investment there.
Yeah, or sometimes we'll do pre-sales for it. Like we did one last night for the Star Wars, the Crimson Reign. We had our one cover, one exclusive we did, which is behind me on my screen. But thankfully those pre-sales will help, offset that.
And John Leone from 616 Comics said that when Penguin Random House delivered their retail exclusive covers, they were all damaged.
So I noticed from week to week they have changed their packaging. Like week one, it was bad, but this past week it came in an outer box with bubble wrap out inside the outer box, and then a smaller box with the comics inside that. But my issue is that the comics in that smaller box are just packed to the brim, like just edge to edge, and it's like that's a little too dangerous for me.
The box doesn't give a lot of room.
No.
And they don't do anything to package within that box. Still, markedly
much better
improved. And then the thing is that I have it on the ground. You don't care to see it. I still get damages from Diamond all the time. So Penguin Random House is like quickly escalating how well they're changed, their improvements, and Diamond's just still staying the same.
Yeah. And Penguin, they actually put in a little piece of paper saying packaged by such and such, packaged by so and so. It's like, oh hey, that's awesome. Never get that from Diamond or Lunar.
Now we know who to kill when our books get damaged,
or maim, or hurt.
Let's not go with murdering the people this morning. It's a little early for murder.
No. Just tar and feather.
Get Dowling says Superman 78 is delayed by a week, and I'm bummed out. I don't blame you, man. That's like one of the little rays of sunshine out of DC Comics right now, Yule.
Is it good?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yes.
Because
it is really good.
You're touching my baby, man. Christopher Reeve's Superman.
If you like the original Superman movie, you will love this comic book. It feels like Christopher Reeves is speaking through the pages.
I just read the one for next week. I read the one for next week, and it is damn good. Yeah, you're gonna like it. Yeah,
so good. It's like one of the best comics out there.
I thought I was listening to you saying it, but I didn't hear 78. I thought we were talking about Kal-El #5 because that got delayed also, and I'm really excited for that.
Well, yeah, you want all the issues to come in because there's probably a lot of people that already put it on their pull list, right?
Yeah, I'm also really excited to see. So, like, one of the things I do is, if you don't have it, you can't sell it. So I ordered some extras, and I like to, this is a little game I get to play. The little things that make me be able to like count the hours, or instead of counting the hours. And did I do a good enough job ordering this? Am I gonna have just enough? That type of stuff. But
how's Batman 89?
I didn't read it.
Issue 2 was so weird. The third issue's good.
Okay.
I don't get it.
You know what I'm
saying
about?
Drew. You read the damn things. How confused are you by that damn thing?
It's weird. It's a very weird comic. Sean and I did a review before the books even came out. We had thought Batman 89 was going to be the hottest one. Superman 78, not so much. Probably a meh, but it's been the complete opposite, which is very strange. It's not really what I want from the Batman 89 comic book series.
It doesn't feel like you're in Tim Burton's Gotham. No. That's the real problem.
Not at all. No, it visually, tonally, just none of it.
Batman's accidentally killed like 4 people by the second issue.
Yeah. And Batman's barely in it. Batman is barely in this damn series, whereas Superman himself in the 78 series, he's in arguably like 36 of like the 40 some odd pages we've gotten so far, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's I'm shocked. I thought the Batman 89, the movie that was a little bit more important to me as a youth, would be the one I was excited for, but it turns out the Superman 78. It's not surprising. Robert Venditti is my favorite writer, but
When are we gonna get a Zack Snyder's Batman comic book?
you got a Zack Snyder's
will happen.
Batman
Comic book there.
Yeah,
Come on.
it is already.
This
No,
this
it
is this is a question for Fatal J, not for us.
Yeah, get out of here with
it
that
is-
nonsense.
No, but it is because we know that DC can do this at any time. There'll be a Linda Carter Wonder Woman.
They
There'll
did
be-
approach Scott Snyder about creating some Batman comics in the Scott Snyder universe. Or I'm sorry, the Zack Snyder universe, and Scott Snyder obviously saw the holes in it and was like, nah. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, don't
I'd
touch
do
a
Fortnite.
masterpiece, right?
I mean, we've seen Adam West Batmans. There can be Super Friends, Legion of Doom, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime they want.
so how long do you guys think this paper shortage outage stuff is going to last into the next year? It's obviously going to go into 2022. Is it going to be the whole year, Yule?
It sure seems like that. I mean, so you've had Perch on your channel. He's often said that he feels like partially this is because of editors. The ICV2 report, I think it had in quotes printer damage or or maybe that was Games Radar. So even they're kind of like, oh yeah, right, sure. But we've seen when we've seen things when the like plants burn, like that record plant burnt, all of a sudden the production of the records is lower. And then people not working. I heard this report about the containers that that get put on ships and stuff like that, and the ridiculousness of storing those after the fact and how you get to them. It's like a 1-lane road wherever they were talking to the guy, 1-lane road going to, and one truck can pick up one container, and it's just like crazy stuff like that you wouldn't think about being important is all very, very screwed up even now. So yeah, a long time.
We do have Kenneth Dowling in here. He wants to talk to Jimmy. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. He says Superman 78 is not just good, it's fantastic. It's like pure uncut heroin, not stepped on. You get a 100% high if you survive it. I don't endorse drugs, by the way, but he does endorse Superman 78.
Oh, the way he's talking, I might want to try that uncut heroin.
No. I endorse drugs, and I do not recommend that 100%.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good. I'm definitely gonna check it out because it seems like everyone likes it here.
It is,
and that's a nice change.
yeah. There's also some really cool homages to some, like, I think Marv Wolfman era, like Action
nice.
Comics Superman stuff from, I think it's Superman 300. I can't remember the exact one. We did a review of it, but I don't know. What are you guys thinking, Drew? Are you going to have to like revisit your business model? You're heavily invested on ratio variants. You guys are kind of all in on the store exclusive covers to really keep the enthusiasm, keep the collectors coming in and buying these comic books. If it's not going to be as reliable, are you going to have to start stepping more into back issues or something like that?
Fortunately, we have 2 warehouses. We have a lot of back stock, and we have fun. We have to get creative with how we sell our back stock, and we do get creative with them. We have fun nights. Doing mystery pulls, mystery blind slabs, or like we'll put up one high dollar item. It's like every $200 you spend on back issues, you'll be entered to win this ASM 300 slab. And boom, that'd be a huge night. But yeah, it's going to take a great degree of creativity. What's that?
I could spend $200 for that.
Yeah, easy.
I wanted to buy them anyway. Just do it at once.
Yeah.
I know, Doc. You're the X-Men historian, the Marvel aficionado. What are you thinking about all this? Does this stuff start to get you worried? It gets me worried. That it's not just comic books; it's the omnibuses, which bring in a lot of collectors. It's the manga, which is driving a lot of new readers within the industry.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're already seeing. I'm looking at this similarly to the way I looked at the wood shortages earlier in the year. A lot of it is freight issues. A lot of it is logistical issues. But because this one has the added problem of a lot of people just straight up quitting, which has created labor shortage that wasn't there with the wood shortage. Now, they're both from the same industry. The logging industry hasn't really changed. Now you're in the processing industry, the processing side of the raw materials. And one of the things now, DC, Marvel, part of it isn't actually a shortage. It's actually their books just sitting on fucking containers because they're printed in China. A lot of them are printed in China. So when they come and get shipped back over here, all of the port problems are what is, impacting this. But additionally, whatever you can look at as I said, the wood shortage from earlier in the year, that lasted probably about 4 or 5 months, where you had absurdly high wood prices because of all the shortages. This adding on that you had also a labor shortage, you could probably double that. And the wood shortage also ended up with an end result of new prices, like prices after all the price spikes came back, being about 50% higher than they were before for a commonly available product. So you're going to have shortages for a while. I'd say probably 8 months instead of just the 4 that you had for wood. And then the paper costs are going to be higher than they were when we started. In which case everything. So be ready for $7 monthly comics. I'm going to just tell you that right now.
So first off, I do want to tell everybody, my wife is telling me to turn on the essential oils dispenser. I have no idea what she's talking about. That's why I'm fumbling around over here. There's a button on this thing. I didn't know it existed. We've also got Federico De La Casa says, we have the same shortage of paper here in Europe. This could be the new normal. Like, are you calling him Peter? It's got to be. Suggested they should think about an online market.
No, wait, hold up. What are you talking about before that?
Essential oils. My wife has an essential oil dispenser that she wants around the children that are sick.
All you said was
I don't know how it works.
Bro,
it looks like an egg.
All you said was we got essential oils button on this thing.
Jerome knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, I want that computer too. Send me a link.
I know. Tab doesn't get you a tab. I want you to know that.
But
great Simpsons reference. Love that.
So if you see me coming on and off camera, it's because I'm trying to figure this damn thing out.
You're trying to sort it out. Yeah.
She needs to give me a class on these things before she goes to the hospital with the baby. My goodness. So,
wait.
What?
Oh, you missed all the beginning.
My 4-month-old baby is in the hospital.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Mommy's with him.
It's flying over Jimmy's head.
You can't have extra kids in the hospital, so the 6-year-old and the 2-year-old had to stay here. So I have to stay home and take care of them.
I'm sorry, man.
Can we get back to that super chat?
It's crazy. Okay, let's get back to the super chat. What were you wanting to say about this one?
Online market, man. We're gonna be forced to buy comics digitally, kicking and screaming, probably.
Do you think they could do the idea where you could buy a voucher where you get the comic book online and then eventually you redeem it at your retailer? I
don't know where the retailer's making money on that one, though. That's the only problem.
Because when you turn in the vouchers, they give you the money.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So will they be getting that comic digitally first and then that?
Yeah,
I see.
Maybe you buy the voucher from your retailer as an IOU. You get the money, and then you get.
That'd be great. I think you are really just looking at getting. I mean, the voucher. Please.
It's the same. It's the same as a manufacturer coupon.
Yeah. I mean, those will be valuable someday, so don't even turn them in.
It's crazy because the retailers just went through the pandemic. You had a shutdown, you had different rules all over the nation. We're finally getting back to normal, and then you have this crisis that's going on with the supply chain, which is going to be another obstacle to overcome.
I have a lot of new readers, and this is crazy. I mean,
it's likely to, this is going to cause another price increase.
Oh, and it's going to screw up crowdfunding too. Also, just to let people know. I mean, most of these people are sending stuff out of country to get printed in their most graphic novels are printed in China.
Most.
And if anything's getting bound, it's probably getting done in China, and there isn't anything coming from there. If you're a crowdfunder, because they're going to deal with Marvel and DC first, and everybody else, and then you. So
problems, big
I
problems.
Sorry.
No,
No,
guys,
man.
I got two predictions. One, of course, the prices are going to increase. Never let a crisis go to waste. Come on, guys. And the second one is, I think I know when it's going to stop and we're going to get back to normal. It's around 2023. That's my guess, because a lot of stuff is going to get kicked into place around then. So,
wow.
Yeah, the full. Never. You know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to say it.
If they
I meant to pregame with you, Doc, and be like, I could see you going off the edge on
I'm
this,
just going to shut the fuck up.
live stream.
If they would just concentrate on their core titles and not overproduce them, and then just have a couple books where they're just putting multiple stories in them and stuff like, an anthology like DC and Marvel, or I've said it before, Marvel Team Up, that Superman and Batman, Brave and the Bold type stuff.
Yeah.
That would increase their character perception out there, so that, and they won't be printing as many comics, but they will still keep printing comics. And anything that gets people to come to my store weekly is good for me, if they care.
One thing I could see them doing is like, say, title of like the Incredible Hulk coming out, is that I could see them, because there's the delay now. I'm not saying it will happen, but in the future, if this shortage is still going on, they can probably merge issues 1 and 2 together in one double-sized issue, and boom, you got your $8 book right there.
$8, but that's
well. If I think I'm getting 2,
but it's a great idea, though.
Not as bad.
It's a great idea.
Hey, you know what? It's a great idea to never bring another new reader in. I'm sorry, you're not going to. You don't get impulse buys at $8 It doesn't matter. I mean, unless it's an impulse buy car.
Let me ask you a question, Doc. What if all comic books came out, maybe not monthly, but they were all the size of, if they're going to cost more anyway, they were the size of like Spider-Man 75, those.
But you still don't get impulse buys at price points. Impulse buy is literally under
manga, and it's $10 though, is what I'm saying. This is a thicker comic that has a lot of story, and it might not look like a manga, but it probably has as much work in it.
It has more work. I'd probably argue.
Well, they color it.
Look, I get that argument, like that. Okay, well, you're buying manga at $10 for a lot more, content. But for the most part, you're still, I still don't see it working for the American product. Like, there's a novelty factor to manga, especially, and I guess you could say
Are you saying manga's like a chia pet?
Well, no, there's a novelty fact to it that American comics don't have, because it's, the different foreign product. And then there's also the I guess peer group influence that has grown itself that comics doesn't have. So there's a few other factors, like looking at just what the American comic book industry has to offer and to market to non-readers. They don't have any of that unique and novel, interesting. I'm trying to think of the word here that would be most appropriate. That's not racist as shit.
Yeah, don't use that word.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. But look, there's
be sensitive. It needs a sensitivity correspondent.
There's a little bit exotic of a nature to manga that does not exist with American comics. Seriously.
I personally believe if you look at the growth that's happening amongst U.S. comic books, it's almost all in the graphic novel sector along with manga. graphic novels really are the future. If you look at the way they're writing comic books now, they're just graphic novels being told in chapters.
And I get that,
Yes,
but okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
We will still have periodic comics. They should probably just shrink it down and release things quarterly as graphic novels, 4 issues at a time.
Then
That's a
they
great
don't
idea.
have, but they don't have the ability to offset their costs of production with the monthly books, so that all that cost of production is going to have to get covered in the trade. What's currently the trade that would be the OGN at that point, and you're going to end up with a price increase that puts it outside the range of people giving it a shot.
Maybe initially,
Mhm.
but if the sales grow enough, it'll actually decrease.
I think if they go like the style of manga where it's just graphic novels and no floppies anymore, I think the market will adjust and go with that more than they would the single floppies nowadays, because that's exactly what manga's doing, and it's exploding.
Well, what does
And-
Jerome buy?
Floppies.
Floppies.
Yeah,
Well,
It's old like us.
so you
Yeah.
have
because
three
they come out
other-
first. But if the graphic
Floppies,
novel comes out
but-
first, then we'd all
Yeah,
buy that.
Yeah,
So
which is
you
true.
have these
Which is,
options.
which is true.
Digital-
Like, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I want to ask you because this is important. You have digital.
Mhm.
You have more expensive floppies, maybe thicker and maybe coming out less frequently, or you have trades that come out just collecting the story. What's your option?
For me,
What do you
probably
like?
be it goes. Sometimes it goes floppies, but then let's say there are times I might have to do the digital.
Mhm.
I might have to do the comicsology, especially when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I like to like once you get quiet, I can do a quick batch and just go through a whole bunch of them at a particular time. But very often, sometimes it's floppies because you know what, I like to go in the stores and maybe politic with a few guys here and there on particular matters. But the idea on what Jimmy was saying too, that's a viable option too. Because you know what, we are getting at a point in time where things are going to change and we might have to adjust a little bit.
Well, speaking of, we got a couple of super chats we got to get to. We do have.
He said that was right. That's the first time someone said that.
We should have
What?
an applause meter here. Or
Yeah,
something.
let's ignore that part. We do. This kind of jumps on with what Jerome was saying. As this is from Lane Kramer. Thank you so much. As Perch would point out, stop doing almost 500 comics a month. Less needs for paper reduce and allow them to keep stuff coming to Yule and Drew. Yes,
I agree. I'm on the bottom. Well, the customer, I guess, is on the bottom when it comes to that. I'm a twice removed middleman.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like the idea when you have to stock those shelves and you're putting new things up, and sometimes you're like, oh wow, if I could put this issue up here, it would, it just look nice, and the person will be able to get both of them, and you don't have room because of the glut of books. And then, and I'm getting them from different distributors now. I get Lunar for DC, Penguin Random House for Marvel, and then Diamond for almost everything else. And Diamonds is like all these titles, it's pretty it's daunting is what it is.
Yeah.
And they're still announcing new books. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, okay, guys, get your paper situated first before you talk about with new books.
we got Kenneth Dowling with another super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Wes, you mentioned Batman 89 earlier. I'm really disappointed in that book. It's nothing I thought it would be. Granted, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton's Batman, but I wanted to see his third film in comic form. You and I
Okay.
both.
There's
It's
no way
just-
this was the script. There's no way.
No, it's so strange. The third issue is good, but the first two are just, it's all over the place. I'm with you, Kenneth. I really wanted that one to be dope. Do we have any final things to say about Papergeddon and the shortages and likely impending costs that are going to go up?
Keep waiting. We're going to keep waiting.
Please
Yeah.
understand. We're waiting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you please don't blame your LCS. They're just as probably more upset of you guys.
Well,
Yeah,
most of us
we don't
are
want to hold on to these
fans.
books. We don't want to hold on to these orders. We got massive orders from people, we have to hold on to because they want like an Incredible Hulk, and that's not going to come out till after Thanksgiving. So now it's like, this is not our fault.
Yeah. and then the anger comes onto you guys because they don't understand the system, the way that the system is built, and how the books are piped down. So I get you.
They, LCS are in a very hard spot right now with this paper shortage. So do them a favor and buy a couple back issues.
Whoa, I like that. Yeah,
Good one. Definitely.
I do want to say it's always best to kill the messenger. So, don't blame your LCS. Just blame the guy behind the counter. It's his fault.
I blame
I
Rick
do want to
Johnson.
say, before we move on to this next topic, we're having a lot of fun here. We've got like 47 likes on the video. We've got like almost 200 people watching live. So if you want to support the channel, just go give us a thumbs up. Let everyone know we're having a nice little Halloween themed episode here. We're going to be getting to our favorite horror-based comic books here in a few minutes. But first, we do have to talk about the big news from Marvel. We've got Danny Rand is being replaced as the Iron Fist. We've also got a new Iron Ghost Rider coming out. We've got Savage Spider-Man as well. Some big news items out there. What do you think, Jerome? Is it time for Danny Rand to get out as Iron Fist? There's no way a white guy should ever be doing kung fu and playing with dragons.
I am not with that one. I'm not. I actually last year, or I believe last year, I went through the entire run of that Power Man and Iron Fist and the previous ones before that, so I can get an understanding of it, because I landed on the Sanford Green version of Power Man and Iron Fist first, and I loved how it looked in the arrangement. But my problem was with that was a lot of the villains that were being used at the time, I didn't understand them. I didn't know who they were, so I made it a particular mission for me to go back and read all of these particular issues. And you know what, Iron Fist is as important as any other character. I just think they don't have to change them just because of the times or whatever the case. Just create some great stories with them. That's really it at the end of the day. But then I didn't see that last
Larry Hama?
The one that where he gave up the mask.
Larry Hama's the Heart of the Dragon.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. And once I got the information from you watching one of your episodes, it was like I just felt a little sad about it, because there you go again, just messing up the character. Just basically sit there and cater to an audience that's not really going to care at the end of the day, whether he's white or Asian at the particular time. The fans are the ones who are rallying hard for this particular character at the time. And looking at the picture too, I'm curious about who this person is going to be. I have a idea who can probably play into that role, but
is it Shang-Chi or is it Swordmaster?
Alyssa Wong's writing it. Swordmaster.
A Shang-Chi would be really easy though, Wes, when you think about it, right? They're going to catch us with something that no one will ever assume. I would think it would probably be the young guy that was with Daredevil, with the version with Ron Garney.
The blind one?
Blind Spot?
Yes. It could be him. When you see the picture, when you look at the picture and you see his hair, he did have a haircut like that. It's very easy to put him in there. It's a swing. I'm just saying.
I like it.
One.
Yeah.
You're more creative than the people at Marvel. I'll give you that. This is Kenneth Dowling. What he says I meant to address this earlier, actually. Kenneth says, any superhero villain fights today, Wes? I have a good one, but I don't want to interrupt your topics. This was a really light week as far as topics. We're even rehashing one, sort of. So you can interrupt away today. It's not going to affect me. Just if you want to say something, you want to talk about something, interrupt away. The two topics, the debates that we have are going to be our favorite horror comics and our favorite horror movies. But if you want us to talk about something else, absolutely interrupt. You
should have saw the text he sent us beforehand. Started off real strong with, I don't have a main topic.
I don't know what the main topic's going to be until we got the two more things about delays and paper shortages. But even that would normally be a second or third topic, but it just wasn't that week. And I've talked about enough controversy that I didn't want to lead off with something like that. So interrupt away. I do appreciate it. And we will definitely talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about this week. We've got Eric O'Sullivan. Matt Fraction did an awesome run on Iron Fist. So taking the legacy history into consideration, Danny would be representation and diversity. seeing all the other Iron Fists have been ethnically exclusive to that geographical area.
Yeah, Danny is the diverse Iron Fist. Oh, I'm sorry, comic industry. Fuck you.
I think it's so weird that it's offensive that we're using Asian stereotypes on a non-Asian character. It's like, what is it more offensive to use only Asian stereotypes on Asian characters?
But only Asians can do the martial arts. Those are the rules now.
I know those fucking Brazilians totally just stole martial arts from Asia.
Yeah.
Well, half theirs is like laying in the back, though, right?
Yeah, but jujitsu sounds Asian, so
it is Asian. It came from Japan.
Yeah,
that's where they learned it.
Oh, okay, still.
And then they adapted it,
and it became Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I hear jiu-jitsu and I think Rob Van Dam, and I'm not going to say anymore.
Rob Van Dam.
Well, it's
the whole effing show. This is Monday night.
Yeah,
so we're talking
someone
about?
would say jiu-jitsu or someone's name, and he'd say, "God bless you."
So as I hear jiu-jitsu and I think of like guys like Jerry Seinfeld,
I thought you were talking about the Van Terminator or something. Is someone going to throw a chair up and get kicked in the face?
Why not?
I'm just happy that Eric's gave credit to Matt Fraction, because Matt Fraction is a really good writer.
Yeah.
He can be hit or miss. He can be hit or miss. I mean, Iron Fist was a hit.
He started out great, and then he has deteriorated over time.
He's the most consistent of the Portland Mafia.
Was it his X-Men? His X-Men run was the one on. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it was the one where it was nothing but an allegory.
How is Kieran Gillen not the most consistent one of the Portland Mafia?
No, because he's not part of their friend group. The Portland Mafia is just Bendis' friend.
Oh, because he's all the way across the pond.
Yeah, because
but he was in. Oh, it was the Warren Ellis forums. It wasn't the Bendis forums. My bad.
Yes,
they're all in there together.
They all grouped together anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever. I liked Matt Fraction.
Fraction, in my opinion, is unreadable.
Oh my god, unreadable.
Even his Jimmy Olsen recently was so good. I loved it.
I can't agree unreadable, but I don't like
exactly. Drew knows what I'm talking about.
Wait, Drew, you didn't like the Jimmy Olsen?
No, I tried reading it. I met Matt Fraction at a HeroCon, I think in North Carolina. He had the pages out there, and he saw my face. I'm trying to read it. I'm just like,
man, I would have whipped it out and just pissed on it right there. That's what I think about this comic.
He literally just harkened back towards like the old.
I heard your pee shot.
Age, golden age.
Pee shot. I was in the military. I had to pee all the time in front of people. Get out of here with that stuff.
I tried.
Who knows what I'm saying?
Funny.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, man. I couldn't do that.
There's only one person pee shy on this panel. He's right there.
Yeah, man. Like if I was in the military and I was in Iraq or Afghanistan, and like people with like turban, like whatever that stuff is over their face, I would be like, "Can you guys like please not look at me right now? I'm trying to really concentrate."
Could you at least wear sunglasses?
They don't watch you pee when you're in Afghanistan. Like there's stalls.
I
was talking about getting pee tested, which happened all the time.
Oh,
why are we talking about peeing?
I don't know. It's fucking.
It was Wes. Wes said he would pee on Matt Fraction.
That's right.
I
just put in a convention hall. He said he'd
put some respect on his name.
I just put some respect on that comic.
See, I wouldn't I just wouldn't even piss on Matt Fraction if he was on fire.
There you go. We got Retro Man. Do you think this new Iron Fist will stick or will go back to normal? If he's in the MCU, they'll bring him back, right? It's not going to stick. None of this stuff ever sticks. They're going to use it as a promotional vessel, a way to spark interest. A few people will come in and buy the first issue. Everybody that was an Iron Fist fan will be like, fuck it, I guess I'm out the door. This isn't Iron Fist because it's not Danny Rand. And then they'll go back. That's the cycle of everything, Drew.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting to a point now where I really hope there are enough vocal fans of crap like this to just be like, no mas, just no more of this. Stop it. Bring him back. Just bring on a quality writer, not Alyssa Wong, a quality writer to tell a great story.
Yeah.
The last legacy character to legitimately replace a existing longtime character
was Laura with Wolverine.
Riri Williams.
No, the last one to actually stick and have and develop its own following was Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
That was
and before that, It was
I think Miles
Wally West.
Morales.
Wally
I
West.
think Miles Morales
No.
definitely did.
Miles Morales was in a whole nother universe.
Miles,
Does not replace
Okay,
him.
well, just because you don't like him doesn't mean he's not big.
and
The
when
guy,
you
he was good.
and when you stick Miles in the Marvel universe, as long as Peter's there, he ends up being just that other guy wearing a different Spider-Man costume. That's
He's
it.
so much.
He's
more
not
than
even in the
that.
Beyond Corporation.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, like seriously, they could have hired him. They had to literally go and get Peter's clone.
Would he work better in Spider-Man 2099?
He would work better in the Ultimate Universe.
He would work better in the Ultimate Universe because look, and you look at his sales. His sales are atrocious.
Every Marvel book is atrocious
No,
unless it's Donny Cates.
I know, ASM will still sell month to month.
Or ASM,
You could try putting Miles in ASM, and that the sales on it will tank.
We shall see. We've got Cal Miles saying they'll probably focus on his sexuality. Probably. Yeah, there's a good chance.
50%
Running the DC playbook.
Yeah, but I heard something like someone did like posted something about it on Twitter that I was like, oh, that's kind of smart. Is whoever takes over now is going to be the Iron Fist in the movies because they won't have to worry about rights issues at all because that's what they're trying to focus on the newer the next gen of characters so they don't have to worry.
The rights
about it.
issue thing is a red herring. It's not real. They're gonna have to settle that stuff anyway to keep control of the IP and the costume and everything and the colors, all that stuff.
Also, Alyssa Wong is the writer, and I don't like her. I've never read anything by her, but it's that tweet that
she is. That's
It's
the
the
only reason why she
personality.
is there. It's for calling out CB Cebulski for using a pseudonym.
exactly okay.
That
I'm now
tweet's so
seeing
famous,
like
she's a great
Bleeding
writer.
Cool say
What are
that's
you
a
talking
fake
about?
tweet, and I'm like, what? I swear to God, that was real.
The Stan Lee one is fake. The CB Cebulski one is real.
Yes.
Right.
The one where
Okay.
she says, "I don't care if Stan Lee's dead," that one's not real.
But
The one where
Yeah.
she calls CB Cebulski a racist is real.
But no, like, look, this isn't going to last. It's not going to stick because it doesn't stick. It can't stick. There's too much of a backlash against this constant replacement of characters. It's a short-term marketing gimmick, and then it'll go back to normal, just like every other time they've taken the Iron Fist mantle away from Danny.
We've got Kenneth Dowling with the super chat. I agree with Jerome. Thank goodness you're not agreeing with Doc. That's all I asked for. They're doing it with Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Now this, just make new characters. And as I said this before, only Asians doing martial arts goes against what Bruce Lee taught.
Absolutely.
It's true, Jerome.
Absolutely. Come in agreement with that. Yeah, definitely. Anybody that watched any of those documentaries of Bruce Lee, that was the one thing that he wanted to do, just to expand the art for other people to be exposed to. So yeah, I come in agreement with that. And people, like when you look at Iron Fist and you read the full entire history of it, you get a firm understanding on why he did that. Why did he go into the particular route that he was, the way that they've written him? It was, again, like Doc said, he kind of was that diversity character at the time that was just in a reverse fashion. And people should not just, again, the company shouldn't alter it just because of they're trying to cater to an audience. Again, that's not gonna really care at the end of the day. Then it's just,
They'll care. They'll whine about it on Twitter.
which is true.
That doesn't sell anything.
And for a few years now, they done kind of like destroyed that character. He's jokey a lot. He's not disciplined. It's just weird things that was about him, especially like as I think maybe like the past 5 years or 6 years, he's just joking too much, especially in that with Daredevil, during that run, that wasn't Danny, the one that I seen in the 70s and the 80s and coming up. He was well disciplined, well rounded, and that's just, you don't get that. I just think he's one of those characters that they just didn't know what to do with him. And now, it's about that time they want to make something, stick, and it's not going to stick at this time, regardless.
King KDI from the UK says, for comic pros, what happens if we take this to the logical conclusion? Only Asians can cook ramen. Let's see what happens. What are they going to eat after that?
Wait, didn't you see that article just a couple of weeks ago with some lady bitching because a white lady had a ramen, food
We
blog?
talked about it
So-
for 40
Oh
minutes.
yeah.
So that is the logical conclusion. It's already happened.
The noodles and dumplings lady.
I'm already canceled. I had top ramen last night.
Man,
You cooked it yourself?
Yeah, and I had a sandwich to go with it. And it was delicious.
And a sandwich?
Yeah, the
you're
sandwich.
mixing
with it?
cultures there. That's not approved.
Oh,
We got
sorry.
It's a
Federico
fusion, Wes.
we got Federico De La Casa with the Euros, 5 euros. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Why not do a mini about Luke and Randy trying to cope the roles that they've been relegated and finally find the strength as brothers to turn the table?
Sounds interesting.
You can't do stuff like that anymore because you know what will happen if you make a book like that, Yule?
Huh.
Everyone will just assume they're gay, and then Marvel will have to
For
change
sure.
characters.
They're gay. They're
Guys
gay all
can't
the
be
way.
friends anymore in comic books.
I call it Double Dragon.
It's
That'd
queer
be
coded.
sweet,
Look
man.
at them; they're hanging out.
Yeah. Queer coded. They're
Well,
talking
I mean,
to each other.
They,
That means they definitely wanna
appreciate
fuck.
each other's company.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. My best friend and I, we went to go watch Venom, and afterwards, I wanted to shag him. So.
Absolutely.
What, Venom?
You should see the pictures I send Doc during the week.
I know,
God.
right?
It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Really good spank material.
Yeah, your opinions on that X-Men book were hot.
Oh yeah.
That went to a place that I don't ever want to visit again.
I want this to be good because I like
Yeah,
Iron Fist so much. It's just I haven't anything recently. It just hasn't been cool.
I agree.
I'm not the biggest Iron Fist guy anyway, so
Go
it
back
doesn't
and check-
hurt me at all.
They're in omnibus form, but they're cheap omnibuy. The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu with him, Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu. They're the original Marvel magazines, and they're in black and white. They're amazing. Check them out.
I gotta
think
get to
I think
that.
I have one
Yeah.
of those.
I gotta
Yeah.
get to that.
We've got a super sticker from Titans Review. If you have not checked out his YouTube channel, you are missing out. And I'm not going to apologize because I'm not apologizing for this, but I do think it's unfortunate, Titans, that I saw that you got blocked because you followed me. That wasn't my intention, sir. But I
You
do
blocked
appreciate
him.
you've continued to.
That wasn't
support
my
the
intention for
channel.
existing.
It was-
Sorry.
It was Vida Allen.
Yeah, double V.
What did you do? To
Kenneth
do that,
Dowling
Alan?
decides to just basically urinate on the entire stream, saying, "Sorry to agree with Doc."
It's the
But what he
Doc is
said
Right
about
show.
Miles Morales is on the money. They chose a guy from prison to be Superman over him. No one cares for Miles. I don't care for him either. Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
There's only one Spider-Man, and there's only one Spider-Man. There's only one of any character that the general audience ever truly accepts. And it's already been done. Sorry. You got to
But
come
I'm
up with new
confused.
ones.
Miles Morales.
No,
He's
what does he
okay.
mean? They chose a guy from prison to be Spider-Man over him.
Ben Riley.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I like Ben
Story,
Riley more than
story.
Peter Parker.
Well, you like Brian Michael Bendis more than Jeff Johns. So
Thank
it
you
all
for
makes
saying
sense.
I have class. I appreciate it.
That's not what I was implying. Oh yeah, if we could stop agreeing with Doc, this is not the Doc's Right show. This is this is the Doc is Wrong show.
This is the Doc is Right show.
Well,
every
when
now and
Titans
then
Jimmy
Review
and
has
Doc
made a
are
video
on
in
the
a year.
same show.
But you should definitely check out the stuff he is doing, and maybe if you watch enough of his videos, he'll go and do some more content.
Who?
Titans Review.
Nice.
Oh,
I want to see some.
I'm on
Absolutely.
YouTube right now. I can look it up.
Absolutely. What else we got anything to say about Savage Spider-Man? I know you're upset, Doc. You were enjoying that Bacalo art. He's out. We got a new artist in and a new name on the title.
I mean, I knew we were getting a new name on the title. I'm not surprised that he's out. I'm bummed that he's out. But it wouldn't, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me though that after the next 6-issue arc, he's also back. Because whenever he was on Spider-Man Deadpool, he did the first 6 issues and then they changed, but then he came back for the next 6 issues and he was kind of the constant. They always had another artist do like fill-in arcs. So it wouldn't shock me if they're retitling this book after every 6 issues, but it's essentially one giant long story. And that Bacalo ends up back for whatever follows the Savage Spider-Man arc on, because this book essentially is
it's a continuation of Nonstop Spider-Man.
Yes, but what I mean is Nonstop was actually the arc of, or the name of that arc. The next arc is actually named Savage, so they're sticking the arc name in the title, but this is essentially the adjectiveless Spider-Man book. Yeah, but it's adjectiveless Spider-Man relaunched after every arc with the name of that arc as the adjective, essentially. And
thank you for decoding that one, Doc.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I didn't.
Yeah, so you'll probably see that this whole thing will end up released whenever they do all the, like the omnibus, whenever it's all done, of, you know, the 40, like 30 or 50 issues that it ends up getting, as it'll just be Spider-Man by Joe Kelly. And
we've got Wraith X7 is in saying Brazil has its own martial art style called capoeira. Absolutely, the fight dancing, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in the old days? It was the jitterbug was American martial arts. Then
all I know is when I watched Bloodsport, there was a dude that did capoeira that looked like he was wearing a diaper or something. He was kicking everybody's ass. It was good.
Well, pretending to, right?
Dancing like style.
They just get as close to you as possible. It's like a play. It's a game of I'm going to get as close to you as possible without touching, and that's capoeira.
But
I bet those dudes could mess you up if they wanted to.
Possibly.
We got Yellow Spider-Man.
I'm pathetic.
Think about the message that pic of Danny's costume in the trash sends about the mantle passing to a person of color thing. Here, you can have the white guy's trash now. You know that you mentioned it. That's it's pretty crazy messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they were trying to evoke feelings of Amazing Spider-Man 50 when he gave up the mantle. But we didn't see, Miles Morales say, "Thank you for your trash. Let me put it on," kind of thing. So there's some symbolism there, Jerome.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that, but then I saw the other picture with the pose, the actual pose, and I was just like trying to look at him and like, who is this guy? Because the way that the promo is being promoted, they're trying to imply that we know him. So I just immediately was like, all right, Shang-Chi, throw him out the window. Even what was it? I think John Woo from Agents of Access or some sort. I was like,
Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo. Yeah, I was like, nah, throw him
John
out.
Woo's the director.
Yeah, John Woo. I'm bugging out. See, it must be this tea here. It must be the tea. This tea is good.
All right, fellas, I've got to bounce out for a few minutes. If you get to Ghost Rider, you get it to it now, because once I come back, we're switching topics.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? The Ghost Rider returning, though, that one is one that I am kind of down on. As much
I want to be, but Ed Brisson, he's writing it, I think, or is it? Or
no, it's Ben Percy.
Ben Percy.
That's right. Ben, his latest issue of Wolverine sucked ass. I hated it, and
I'm
this is the same level of writing we're gonna get in Ghost Rider. I'm terrified. I'm like, I don't know if I want this.
There goes my argument. I was gonna say, from before I dropped Wolverine and all of X-Men, I thought his Wolverine was really good. So this one I have high hopes for. Mm-hmm. But now that you say that, I got nothing.
See, now I do have some concerns about this, because one of the only images we've really seen so far is that cover. And we've heard, and we've also gotten a brief description of what it's going to be about. And the problem is, I have a feeling that this is going to be a book written by somebody that doesn't know the characters like usual, because they're talking about it being a Johnny Blaze series, and Danny Ketch's fucking bike is on the cover.
Yeah.
So,
also, did you read that article that Wes sent about the announcement? Dude, Ben Percy was a stuck-up brat. He was like, yeah, Ghost Rider's like really dark and metal, and like that's who I am, like with the leather and spikes. I'm like, you know, get off your high horse. We don't care about none of that. We just want good stories.
I'm also not sure I believe him.
Yeah, I was feeling that. I was like, he was overselling this product right here. It was like he's working too hard.
I feel like he was trying to
Working
sell
too-
himself. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't
that too,
believe it.
though. Yeah, like he integrated his lifestyle and his likes inside of the character. It was like I'm
You
just
started
gonna
to sound like
ignore that
Johnny
part.
Cage a little bit.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that-
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like he's overselling exactly how metal he was, so that people don't really realize that. I'm betting he was a let's just say
Come on with it, Doc. Come on.
a new metal fan when he was growing up,
like NU
or-
metal.
Yeah, like
he
NU
probably
metal.
likes Black Veil Brides.
All right, so
Yeah.
nobody's allowed to write Ghost Rider anymore if they haven't rid a motorcycle. How you like that?
I've ridden
I'm
motorcycles.
actually okay with this.
This is my gatekeeping on Ghost Rider. Personally, I'm not a big Ghost Rider fan either, and that cover looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I don't
is.
know the difference between the bikes.
I know. I liked that Ed Brisson
Danny's-
one. He did.
Danny's had that, like the big metal like shield,
Mhm.
that kind of
Who had a
triangular-
chopper? Who rode the
That
chopper?
would have been Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny
Yeah.
had a
Johnny.
chopper.
Well,
And,
no one's riding You look at a guy on a chopper now, and it's like kind of weird.
you got
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania. They ride it hard out there.
Oh,
Choppers.
damn! I didn't
When
know.
I go on vacation, yeah, they in the mountains. They ride it hard in choppers, real
Yeah.
hard.
I just see
Where I
people
was
on
going,
these
he
like
had-
gold wings blasting their
That-
music
that-
so
that-
super loud.
That too, though. They might be playing some Black Sabbath or whatever the
They
case.
do,
is,
yeah.
You know,
Oh,
and
that's
they're just
what
riding.
that's what dude should be riding, a freaking Ghost Rider Gold Wing is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, where I
He's-
live, we have a lot of Hell's Angels, so it's
Mhm.
like I see choppers all the time.
I have a weird suspicion based on what Ben Percy, the kind of new writing he's been doing a lot of recently, that eventually it's going to have a sidecar with a little mini a female Ghost Rider that rides in the
Oh.
sidecar, or maybe Johnny gets pushed to the sidecar while the
You have
girl.
like a demon animal, like a pet dog that's like a dead animal dog. You know, it's like
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
well.
dog.
Yeah, maybe
So-
Puck. He
so
could
do
be
you
a
guys-
side little demon, small demon.
Puck from Alpha
Yeah.
Flight.
Yeah.
So you guys think it's more like they're trying to go into like a Green Lantern type of dimension with the Ghost Riders? When you saw the promos to that picture,
I think they've
been
kind of
trying
done that
to do
already.
that for the past like 3 runs.
Yeah.
really? Oh,
But
okay.
with having multiple Ghost Riders all interacting, where there's like a bunch of Ghost Riders,
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, it's one
Yeah,
fucking
it's one.
demon.
just
It's
leave
one
it.
yeah, it's one demon
Yeah.
that keeps getting a human host.
Mhm.
And then they did obviously the Robbie Reyes one that had absolutely no connection to any of the other Ghost Riders, and they still called it Ghost Rider.
But he's
Yeah.
Latinx, man.
Whoa, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Jason Aaron's Avengers actually made me like Robbie Reyes.
No.
Yeah,
Come on,
I kind
man.
of liked him in that too.
Yeah,
In those early issues when they were in when he was dealing with his brother,
Yeah.
and they did that space bit. That was like the only part of the Starbrand story that I actually dug.
No, it wasn't Starbrand. It was it was the one with Cosmic Ghost Rider, whatever that one was.
Whatever, I just can't remember.
I just like when Garth Ennis and Trent did their Ghost Rider run in the early 2000s, or the Clayton Crane one.
Ooh,
It's
yes.
too much for me.
Yeah, that was all right.
Too
But always,
Those
Those
are
covers
copy.
are gold. The Clayton Crane Ghost Riders, it doesn't matter. Like they're gold. They
Oh, I
sell
always
for
price that
$10
shit up,
each.
though. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I might not like it.
Jason Aaron had a Ghost Rider run that was pretty solid.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But
all right. So
Yeah.
what about the text run? The text run, like
Oh, well,
that
of course.
run is-
That's the gold
Oh, yeah.
standard right there.
yeah,
Jeez.
that's the stand.
oh god, yeah,
Bring
that's-
back Howard Mackey. We need Howard Mackey and Tex back on Ghost Rider. Boom. That's
That's it.
done.
I want
You guys
Garth
don't
Ennis.
think Ben Percy can bring the heat on Ghost Rider?
I
No.
think he can.
no, we
He's good.
I think we've all decided that that Ben Percy oversold his metal roots to while he was much more of a Lady Gaga fan.
I don't know about that. He's always wearing flannel. He's got mutton chops.
I don't
Mutton
care.
chops.
So he's a country guy, not a metal guy. Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
maybe it's more.
I think he's one of those like
Ministry.
hippie Oregon guys that wants to be one with nature.
Yeah, then he's not very fucking metal.
Yeah, like if you
Oh,
put
I
Wolf
just didn't-
Wolf Mother on, he probably wouldn't recognize it.
Oh,
His girlfriend
Yeah,
wears
probably
a dress.
sounds like
He
No,
doesn't
no,
even know what
stop, though.
Sepultura is. Get out of here.
See?
I know.
Person.
If he never saw Pantera live, he's not a fucking metal fan.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
what we decided. Or I said, only motorcycle riders can write Ghost Rider. So if you never have, you're out.
All right, you'll hero battle Etrigan the Demon versus Ghost Rider. Who wins?
That's
Ghost
a good
Rider.
one.
No, it's Ghost Rider.
Well, you got
Yeah,
the power
yeah.
of you got sorcery from Merlin that made the demon who he is, and then you
Wait,
have
hold on.
a
Does
ghost.
the demon have a
demon
soul?
can cast spells, if I'm not mistaken,
But
right?
does the demon have a soul?
Well,
If he does,
Yeah,
then Penance
I mean,
Stare. then he's
Jason
done.
Blood.
No,
Jason
no.
Blood is his human vessel with the soul.
Okay, so
essentially.
then the Penance Stare, and then Ghost Rider wins.
There we go.
no, I don't think.
Not
it'll
if he's
matter.
enchanted and he
There we
can't
go.
use it.
Not when
But-
he's
but-
Etrigan.
But the Ghost Rider got a certain edge Etrigan
Penance
don't.
Stare doesn't work on Carol Danvers. How's it going to work on a demon?
Well,
Nothing
Carol
works on
Danvers
Danvers.
got the power of Yas Queen, and
Well, you don't
Carol
think
Battle
Etrigan
does
has
not.
that? He's got the power of Merlin. You know.
Etrigan. I don't
You
know.
got to
that
make a
guy.
choice, Yule. Who wins?
He's been around a long time. Ghost Rider is often still manipulated by his human side. If I'm gonna go Etrigan all the way.
That's a smart choice. All right, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. We talked enough about the Marvel news. We've got Danny Rand is giving up the role of Iron Fist. We've got the Savage Spider-Man, which apparently, according to Doc, is just the adjectiveless Spider-Man series, but they're rebooting it every 5 issues. And we've got a new Ghost Rider, which hey, I'm on board with. I think it's gonna be good. Get it, Dally. All right, we got another one. This one. Okay, guys, I have a great fight for you. A Marvel DC supervillain battle. The battle of the evil geniuses. Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom. Superman's nemesis versus a Fantastic Four's arch enemy. Who wins?
Doom.
Doctor
Jerome.
Doom. Doctor Doom. Nope. Sorry.
Dr.
I'll
Doom.
end this right now.
It's Doom. It has to be Doom.
All right.
Well, you got to
so-
give us a reason.
Huh?
Is it his mask?
Yeah.
Why?
It's Doom, especially John Burns Doom.
Doctor Doom. What
Especially John
what,
Burns Doom.
What about John Byrne? Oh, I
He,
guess not. his
he
Lex
is
Luthor.
Doom and Luthor are equally matched when it comes to intellect and when it comes to available technology. Doom has the bonus of being a goddamn sorcerer.
Yep.
And like almost sorcerer supreme level sorcerer. Like he's just a step below that.
That was a great
Um,
what if. You ever read that where he became Sorcerer Supreme? I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever-
Did he ruin the world?
John? What?
What's
Did he
the
ruin the
volume?
world when he became Sorcerer Supreme? Put it underneath the make it to heal? Come on.
I don't think he ruled the world, but not for what I recall. But how he got to be Sorcerer Supreme is actually pretty funny. You should check it out. It's really good.
Was it volume 1? I think.
No, I think
Volume one
it
winner?
came out in the '90s, so I think that was volume
Oh,
2.
it's just the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Doom versus Luthor all just comes down to who wins, and Doom has magic. That
Luthor has
Luthor
say
doesn't.
kryptonite.
there's a money
He does,
factor, but Doom's rich also, so even
Kryp-
that's equal.
and Kryptonite doesn't do shit to Doctor Doom.
Well,
Luthor has
It'd
his
be
own
great if
planet.
Superman. It'd be
And he
great
got-
if
and
Superman
he got
was
more,
involved.
and he always has more contingencies than Lex Luthor.
More?
More. You don't even know if you're really fighting him. You can be fighting a regular robot. You know,
Yeah, but
and-
he has
Lex-
diplomatic immunity. Doctor Doom does. Lex Luthor's flying free when it comes
Yeah.
to all the junk
Guys,
he does.
You're
And he gets
forgetting-
the U.S. military on his side sometimes, Lex Luthor. So
He's been the president of the
It
United
could be
States. That means he
close.
has a nuclear arsenal. He could put Latveria off the map.
Hold on,
possibly.
And
Yeah.
Doom could probably turn all them nukes right into
No.
flowers.
Yeah.
You guys are forgetting one big factor. Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. Dr. Doom went up against Thanos and beat him before the fight even
Yeah, but that was
It
bullshit.
sounds
when
like
he did
Thanos
a
was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Cyclops,
beat you," blah blah blah. No, all he did. Thanos goes like,
That
"Oh,
sounds
I'm
like
gonna beat you," blah, blah,
Jonathan
blah. And
Hickman
while he's
fanfic
talking
to
his,
me. You know what
no,
I'm saying?
no, no. While he's talking his big game, Doctor Doom isn't even looking at him. Sticks his hand inside of him, pulls out his skeleton and skull, and he just turns to ash. And
Yeah,
just like,
that was
that's Doctor
you know what?
Doom.
To me.
that
You
was
know what?
special moments.
Here's the thing. Somebody in the chat, Fiend Machine, made a great point. Doom versus Lex, whose ego trips them up first? Because that's what it's. Because that's, I mean, Doom, like in an actual like conflict between the two, Doom smokes him. But does Doom's ego get the better of him before he does?
Well, just like every hero confrontation, they have to come to understanding that they're fighting against somebody else and not each other. These guys would just trip up at the same time and just be like, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
All right, did everyone answer it? What was your answer,
Doom.
Drew?
That's
So
dumb.
Doom.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry, Kenneth. I'm the only one that's rooting for Lex on this one. These guys are
I'm
fools.
rooting for Lex. American humans all the way.
He could converge with Brainiac again, and then he'd be unbeatable.
Yeah, that might be a thing. For
Doom
sure.
became God.
Twice.
Sounds like bad fanfic to me. We got comments that's here. Thank you so much for getting that debate. We've got Kenshiro Zero Contrance, aka Ghost Rider 2099, has no connection to other Ghost Riders either until his revival of 2099 event Opinions.
It was never really.
Ashley Wood did a monthly comic. That's amazing.
I never
Read
cared
that.
for Ghost Rider 2099. I never thought it was very good, mostly because again, it didn't have any connection to the Ghost Riders. It wasn't.
There are
Ghost
too many
Rider.
Ghost Riders out there, in my opinion, Doc.
Well, there
Yeah.
are, but there's only two that really count, and that's Blaze and Catch. Anyone else is a pretender.
And,
Well, you got the Ghost Rider on the Woolly Mammoth. We got the Ghost Rider that was the
Doesn't
Sorcerer
count.
Supreme. That was the Native American. We
Oh,
got
that
this
was the
Ghost
1
Rider
million
2099.
BC Ghost
Cosmic
Rider. We don't
Ghost
have him.
Rider.
That's just some fucking
That's Frank Castle,
Jason
man.
Aaron bullshit. That's just
Okay,
some
Joe-
Jason
Johnny
whoa.
Cates.
Whoa.
Okay, Donnie Cates too. His bullshit too.
No. The 1 million BC Ghost Rider was rad as hell.
It was on a Woolly Mammoth. It was pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, it's dope. And by the way, that's Jason Aaron. By the way, just point
Hey,
check.
I don't think it was Jason Aaron that made it sing. I think it was the artist. It
Oh, it was a good story by
was McNiven.
It's still terrible.
No, but we don't even have him like that. He's in the past, and like if we ever want to bring him back, I mean that's gonna take a weird story to bring him back. But we don't have him. What's Robbie Reyes? He's cool. I like him.
I like Robbie Reyes.
See, Doc, you hear that?
He's not a
I
Ghost
like
Rider.
This episode
Yeah.
because a lot of
He's a
people
Ghost Driver.
He's a Ghost Driver. He's a Ghost Driver that has nothing to do with the Spirit of Vengeance, but sure.
Man, you pop a trunk on him and you shove you down into hell.
We got Ryan Wilson here that says, lately I've been bothered by how the dialogue in current Marvel comics all sounds like kids' comedy shows. I swear dialogue wasn't like this years ago. Is it a writers, Disney, or a dumbed-down society problem? Drew, I'm going to throw this one to you. You read more of these Marvel comics than anybody here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing exactly what Ryan's saying. The dialogue is atrocious.
It is. I really think it's factor of all three. I think it is part of it. Most of it is probably the writers, just who. I really think a lot of writers, creative types, like myself, we tend to be introverted. We don't really get out and engage with others.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them engage on Twitter, and a lot of it is Twitter speak. How it's what I dub like what you would not actually say to someone in real life. So these people are putting in dialogue that I would not say to you in person. I would not say to you, and I wouldn't say to anyone. And they think that's actual dialogue. And it's like, no, this is not real. I've had to tell that to Sean sometimes. I'm like, this dialogue, I'm like, no way would I tell this to you in person. No one says that out loud. No one actually says that. And part of it, I think, I hate saying dumbed down society, but I mean,
Idiocracy is a real thing. It's happening.
Yeah, it is happening. I mean, that's how we're talking now. The Joss Whedon, speaking in weird turn of phrases. I mean, that's how it's gotten to now.
Yeah, you saw it really prevalent in what was that I think X-Men 3, the dialogue between Polaris and Rogue. That was weird. It was like
Yes.
they don't talk like that. They slick. The words were like as if they were on Twitter, like they were slinging cold words to each other. I was like, nah, they would never.
They weren't
talk
speaking
like that.
to each other. They were trying to like sound out for everyone else to see how smart.
Yeah,
Yes.
it sounded weird. Even the lettering too, though, is the same letterer on all the books because, especially the X titles. But I noticed that reading them, it seemed like it's the same letterer. Does the letterer play a role in it, or somebody's giving him or her a directive in that? Because it does seem like the same letterer keeps popping up on the books that you notice that some of that dialogue seems to be weird.
That's all the writer. That's all the writer and the editor.
Oh,
and the
okay.
assistant editor. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, because as a writer myself, if I'm putting in dialogue for two people, like I got to think, I'm like, who actually is going to say this? Who will I actually say this out loud? Is this believable? A lot of this dialogue, it's in Marvel Comics, is not believable. It's not real.
Yeah. The best person to write dialogue in the game right now, I have to say, is Ram V.
It's hard to disagree with that. I mean, Robert Vendetti's perfect with his dialogue. So is Peter
sharp.
too.
Yeah, he's sharp. Like he's definitely sharp. His Freedom Fighters, that Green Lantern stuff he did, out
perfect.
the park. Out the park.
Even his over the top series he did for a Bad Idea Tankers. We're going understanding. Okay, this is like a RoboCop, dark comedy over the topness. Like this dialogue is perfect for it. He understands it. He gets it.
I get you there. You're right.
We got Kenneth Dowling in the house. Dr. Doom, because his genius matches Luthor. Plus, he's a sorcerer who can match Doctor Strange. Plus, Doom, he gained cosmic powers multiple times. Lex will hit, but Doom wins. I was trying to back you, Kenneth. I thought you were on the Lex. You turned on me.
He knows. Yes.
Is it a heel turn by Kenneth Dowling right here on Thinking Critical?
I know a smart person when I hear it.
We got
me.
Doc, so what about Vengeance then?
Is he talking about that miniseries that introduced America Chavez? I'm not. What
do you think about that miniseries, Doc? It sounds like you're a fan.
I vaguely remember it. I mean, it was Joe Casey getting brought in to do something that I only vaguely remember. It was supposed to be exploring oh God, what the hell was that even about? Like, it was exploring legacy villains or some shit.
Sounds a sick Magneto cover though.
And it was kind of a pseudo sequel to Acts of Vengeance, I think, but I don't really remember it very well.
Maybe
it was already forgotten.
Spirits of Vengeance.
Maybe Spirits of Vengeance I liked. I mean, that was the Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider and Blade.
And Morbius. Yeah. Morbius was in there too.
Oh yeah, Morbius was in there too.
The Night Stalkers. That's where I first saw Ron Garney. His stuff was jumped out of the pages on that time. Yeah.
All those comics are gold right now. They're amazing.
We got Neostar Productions. Well, since we're doing comic book battles, what about the Super Skrull versus Count Nefaria? Who we go, Jimmy? What about that? Who you got?
You were asking the wrong person, man. I'm gonna go Super Skrull only because he could shape change and stuff. I don't know about name. I don't even know who Count Nefaria is.
Count Nefaria, he's got the energy vampirism. He's gonna suck up that energy from Super Skrull. Boom.
Exactly.
Done.
That sounds cool.
All right, Drew. So you're on the Super or the Count Nefaria trade. What about you, Yule? Who are you rooting for? Who do you think wins this one?
Super Skrull. He's got more. Depending on if
I thought you were going to say pubes.
Oh, like pubes.
It's a weird power.
No, Super Skrull. He has people depending on when we're plucking him from, but on his side. So all those scrolls, he's got like military components and stuff like that. Count Nefaria, if I'm not mistaken, is just like by himself, and I'm gonna go for the quantity rather than the quality.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. Do you have an opinion on this one?
I have absolutely no opinions at all on this particular fight.
There you go, Neo Starts and stalemate. We got one going for Super Skrull, one going for Count Nefaria. Are you going to break it, Jerome?
Yeah. As much as I love Count Nefari, I love the powers, how he got it. The ball has to go with the Super Scroll because now he's just got a better edge with him. Plus, he can fly in space, so he can outlast him. And Count Nefari, his powers has always been faulty at certain points. That was the way that they always beat him at the end because his powers were never secured with him per se. So the Super Scroll got that all the way. He got that.
It sounds like we've got Chillbongers trying to catch up with us. Hopefully he gets back onto the main conversation. We've also got Kenneth Dowling. Chip Zdarsky writes great dialogue. Venditti is good, and I really like Brian Hill. Chip Zdarsky does write good dialogue. You know who he writes good dialogue for? Fucking Captain America. Like he's got just enough of the Boy Scout in, but it feels like a real person. You know what I'm saying, Drew?
Like from Invaders?
Yes.
Oh, that's right, the Invader series. Yeah, that was actually really good.
Why is he not writing Captain America? He's got the voice for it.
He's got his own little corner he likes to stay in. He can control it. Doesn't have to worry about outside.
He's smart. It's smart of him too. It's smart of him, especially with the climate, with everything that's going on. So there's a part to that, but it is good that he try to spread his wings a little bit and fall into that zone that Wes is trying to imply. He needs to take more chances now on some of those other books because he is exceptionally good in that Daredevil run. You can tell you're only. The art is great and you love the art, but you're really going because you want to see where Chip is going to take Daredevil and the depths of it, and you can relate to all the particular characters. It's not bogged down. You can really enjoy the ride in it, and it brings out this wide explosion of Now when you see a lot of the books that are out now, you can see the difference. There's no gray area. This is like night and day type of stuff. Like, oh my God, this is how books are supposed to look. They're supposed to have that feeling when you finish it, when you see the end and you got the nice cliffhanger. It's a beautiful book, So, I get that, but he definitely needs to take a little chance. He would probably be exceptionally well in Captain America because he'll bring some villains up that we probably haven't seen in a while, and cover some new tracks that's just never been done. It's
guys,
good.
You guys are forgetting that he could possibly be one of the best Fantastic Four writers.
I was getting ready to say his Marvel 2-in-1 he did,
yes.
Marvel 2-in series he did. He wrote a terrific story involving Doctor Doom. I think it was his past. It was amazing, the dialogue in that.
He also wrote the possibly the best X-Men book, the X Fantastic Four miniseries, because it made everyone else in X-Men go, oh, hold up. And he wrote it to where everyone who's reading it goes, oh yeah, X-Men are kind of bad people, Reed Richards over here just like, you guys are kidnapping my kid. What are you doing?
Yeah. And Chip can never rank Captain America because he's a fucking Canadian.
That's right.
Oh, wait.
Hey, man.
Dirty.
The dude that wrote God Bless the USA is Canadian.
I don't care.
Hey, but Doc, I think that was Roger, right? Roger Stern with John Byrne, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, you got it.
Kenneth Dowling says, I pick Super Scroll because he has all the Fantastic Four's powers, but more powerful, and he wields them better.
Yeah.
Looks like 3-1 Super Scroll over Can't Nefaria. We've also got Lane Kramer. He's talking about vengeance from Ghost Rider, Doc.
Yeah. I only vaguely remember that character because, but he wasn't a Ghost Rider, so his name's Vengeance.
Yeah, he was a completely other vessel, from I recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, was he the one with all the spikes and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Howard Mackey did a one-shot. He did a one-off back in February or March, pretty much catching us up to Vengeance, what happened to him. It was actually really good. It just shows Howard Mackey needs to be back to writing the Ghost Rider comics.
Wow. Yeah, he would be great to do. That's another thing. They need to start bringing some of these old writers back, man.
Absolutely. Lane Kramer doesn't count because he wasn't a Ghost Rider. That's what the panel says. We got Kenneth Dowling. After reading Superman 78, I think Venditti would write a great Captain America. That's 100% guaranteed. They would never allow it because Captain America can't be proud of who he is or what he stood for his entire career. But you're absolutely correct. He would do fantastic. Also, Patrick Gleason would write a really good Captain America as well. Obviously, he's also worked on Superman. He would also do great. So that's not going to happen. That's not what Marvel's pushing these days. All right, let's get on to this next topic. We've been wanting to talk about some horror comics. It's Halloween weekend. Everyone's going to be trick-or-treating. And I wanted to point out just before we get into everyone's favorites. I've got it written down. That there are 3 comics. There's like one publisher right now that I think just kicks ass on horror comics. It's called Vault Comics. If you've not been reading it, you're absolutely out of your mind. I want to talk about 3 stories in particular. Resident. If you watched the movie Bird Box and you said this is lame and stupid, they took that concept and made it cool. That one, there's These Savage Shores, which really launched Ram V's career. It's like a melding of like European horror lore with Indian horror lore into one story. That thing is awesome. And then the plot, which feels like a 1970s like gritty, just really dirty horror movie.
Wait,
what's up, Doc?
I thought that I thought that the topic was best horror comics.
No, absolutely not. That's spelled WH, not HO.
I should get rid of Spider-Man 21.
Absolutely. What do you think about that, Drew? Are you enjoying the horror comics at Vault?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. They've been good. I'm a horror enthusiast. I love horror films and horror stories. I've been reading them since I was a kid, and it's just they're good today, but I've got my I've got my favorites. I don't know if you want me to start, but I've got my favorites from.
Yeah, I transitioned it right over to you. That's what.
Some of mine have been. I would say the Saga of the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, Stephen Bissett, and John Totleben. 41
second best comic ever written.
41 through 42 specifically is when they're shooting a soap opera in an old like Southern mansion, and like the spirits are coming back to life, taking over the soap opera stars. Like it was actually an old plantation. It's really damn creepy. And the other before that is when Swamp Thing goes to hell essentially to save Abby from Arcane when she gets kidnapped. It's actually really damn good. And I would say Haunt of Fear, number 22 in particular, is about this chess player who keeps winning these chess matches. And it's like, how does he keep winning and everything, And they have this big parade for him to celebrate, and they have to sing the national anthem and say, hey, you need to take your hat off. Doesn't take it off. And I don't want to spoil it, but check it out. It's really good. And Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, really good stuff.
We got the official Comics Elite channel coming in here supporting us. Thank you so much. He'd say,
that's Sean.
I believe this is Sean.
Yep.
Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Sean. Haha and Ice Cream Man have been fantastic. Haha is nuts. That's like one of the craziest concepts I've ever seen. I love that one. Obviously, you guys had some really cool covers with it, but like that first issue with that clown that's always happy, even though his life is terrible and he can't accept it. This really laid the groundwork.
That doesn't sound like Sean. That sounds like Skip and Tosh to me.
What?
Skip and Tosh is a diehard Ice Cream Man.
Skip and Tosh doesn't own the Comics Elite comic shop.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying it sounds like Skip and Tosh.
Oh, well, he apparently has good taste. Do you like Haha and Ice Cream Man, Jimmy?
I'm not a fan of the anthology format, but I do like.
It's not really an anthology; it's one shots. Anthology is multiple stories in one comic.
Okay, well, they're all one shots. The format is okay. I'm not a big fan of that, but there are certain issues in Ice Cream Man that I do have to applaud because they are just fantastic. But overall, I'm not a big fan.
But it's really like a homage to old school horror that you would get with like Tales from the Crypt or even
Tomb of Dracula.
No, but talking about even on like pulpy TV shows, there was always a new story every week. They didn't just tell one continuous story like you do nowadays. I kind of like that idea.
I would say Silver Coin from Image Comics is actually a really good horror anthology series right now. And new issue comes out this upcoming week, and I can't wait to read it. But yeah, you want to talk about a good horror anthology, Silver Coin. It's good.
Is that the Matt Kent
lots of different
one?
writers.
Yeah, it's Chip Zdarsky, Matt Kent, a bunch of other writers all telling one
switch
story
every week.
Oh, okay, my bad. So wait,
Matt Kent just had his first horror series. It was called it was something about a book, right?
A Fear Case?
Fear Case. There you go.
Yeah. Art's terrible, but story's interesting.
The art is terrible. I couldn't differentiate the two main characters.
Yeah, I told it to Sean. That's one of my complaints to Sean about it. I'm like, this art is terrible.
Which one's talking?
Okay, hold up. And Proby's saying, do I even read comics?
That's a good question. I've been asking that since I invited him on the channel well over a year ago.
You know what? I'll prove it because I got my horror comics right here.
All right. While he's doing that, we got Kenneth Dowling. Last week, I asked you all to pick the super powered or non-powered heroes. Though I love Batman, I would pick powered. But with fighting skills, Wonder Woman, Blade, Buffy, Deathstroke, Black Panther, and Captain America, Jerome and Yule. What about you guys?
I'm trying to understand what did he say?
Are you
there?
a bigger fan of powered superheroes or non-powered superheroes? Do you like the Supermans or do you like the Batmans?
I'm gonna go with powered. Sometimes the non-powered superheroes, you know, from a psychological standpoint, yeah, you those are great, but it depends on the powers. It depends on the powers and how to use them, and how it depends on how the artist actually draws them and make sure that it's engaging until, you know, and in sync with the writer's idea at the time. So I'll go with the powered.
All right, Yule, you seem like a non-powered superhero kind of guy.
No, it's called superheroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't think it's dope
It's
that
flashy.
Batman's the alpha male of the Justice League, even though he's the
No.
only one that doesn't have a
There
power?
have been times when it's been awesome. Usually in
Yeah.
a comedy setting. I loved when he punched Guy Gardner.
Yes.
Everybody remembers that. It's really
Mhm.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, sit down. And then Guy's like sitting down, you know, that
Yeah.
type of stuff. Batman can rule, but he's no Richard Dragon, you know. That would be like probably Richard Dragon when it was like in the 2000s, the aughts. That was, I think, being done by Chucky Dix, and that one was really good. And I like Moon
Speaking
Knight,
of Chuck
but he has
Dixon, he's
some-
going to be on the channel next week. I want to plug that one.
All right,
Oh,
excellent.
that's dope.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like Moon Knight, but he has some power, you know, so that type of stuff. I like a little something that makes them a little more than just your above Olympic level athlete.
Even
so-
Batman is a superhero. I mean,
No, he's
his
not.
intellect.
We had this
is-
conversation
is
last week.
more his intellect.
He's
like, he's
still
the
Look,
smartest
human.
I don't
person
like
in the world.
Batman. I'm done with him. Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're
I
tired of
order him
Batman.
every week.
It's overexposure. Yeah.
Too many Batman comics.
we had this conversation last week. You weren't here,
You know,
but
I
he's
showed
not a
Blade
superhero.
powers, so she's cool. You know what I mean? If she didn't, she would just be some chick running around on the rooftops. How does she hold herself up when she's swinging? You know,
She is too hot to like.
she's
let
too hot
herself hurt.
to worry about that.
All right, you're on a roll. What's your favorite horror comics?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or do you wanted to go last? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
because
let me
you
go
had such a
last
big
because
list.
I've already noticed.
All
a
right,
lot
Doc,
of
what's your
things.
favorite horror comic?
I'm not a huge horror fan. I mean, like, really, I'm just not.
We don't need that. Just tell us what it is.
But I would see all of mine is some sort of horror superhero comic. I'd actually have to say probably my favorite one. It's kind of a toss up. One is just a story arc. The other one is like the whole series. The Demon Bear saga in New Mutants from back in the day.
Mhm.
Alternatively, but for like a whole series, I'd go with Wetworks. You know, it was
There's werewolves and
vampires.
vampires.
Yeah, werewolves, vampires, and also like some weird nanotech skin suits for soldiers that are trying to kill both of them. So
There you
yeah,
go. Obviously, the Demon Bear. That's the movie, right?
that's the one that they sort of poorly adapted for the New Mutants movie. Incredibly poorly adapted.
Sorry, Sean
Like-
just handed it to me. Ruby Justice League. This is his favorite because it's so horrible.
Oh, the comic book no one ever asked for.
But
Is that
like
Sorrow or Jaro though? If it was Jaro,
It
I
was
need
a
to check it
genre,
out.
right?
Jaro, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Jaro. That's one of my favorite characters.
but you know what? But I do have a favorite horror movie, and that would be
That's the end.
No, not
okay,
movie.
Oh,
fine,
that's the
fine,
movie.
fine. I'll wait.
Yeah.
All right, and definitely want to say see you later to Eric for joining us. I know you probably got some busy stuff to do. Hope you have a wonderful Halloween weekend, and I appreciate you joining us. All right, Jimmy, you like horror comic books?
Oh, yeah, they're my favorite thing in the world.
All right, what's your favorite? Is it Brian Michael Bendis, Superman? Is that your favorite horror comic?
No, Robert Venditti is yeah. So I thought it pissed you off, and it didn't really work. So I'm just gonna go into the books. So, my favorite.
Why don't you make fun of Keanu Reeves while you're at it?
Oh,
No one will laugh at that either.
No, I like
Everyone loves Keanu. Maybe you can make fun of
Everybody
Brendan
loves
Fraser.
him.
Yeah. Why don't you talk crap about Brendan Fraser?
Okay, that's my hero. Why would I do that? I
Everybody
love
likes
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser.
I was sticking up for Brendan Fraser before he even made a comeback. But all right, so it switches. My third one switches every now and then because I do really like Scott Snyder's Witches quite a bit. And if you guys have read that, it's very out there. It's weird, but Jock does actually some decent art in that series.
Actually,
Did you read the Black Mirror? That's a fantastic horror comic.
No, I
Jock
didn't.
art. Scott Snyder writing.
do you not like Jock?
I'm not a big fan of Jock.
Okay.
no.
You seem like a Jock guy, though.
I like some of his Joker stuff.
All right, let's get with it, Jimmy. We got to get this show moving.
And then my number 2 was already mentioned earlier by man in the top right, Drew. Saga of the Swamp Thing.
So good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Really nice. Oh, my
That would be my
God.
number one, but I knew
I
everyone
love
would else
those.
would say it.
That's like mossy cover too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so
Tactilely.
good. So I got to put that back. It's a little
I got both volumes at home. Love it. Man.
beautiful.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Alan
Is that the
Moore is
Absolute?
possible. Yes, the Absolute.
Okay.
Alan Moore is the considered possibly the greatest writer in comic book history for a damn good reason. He just knows how to write, and we can't say that for a lot of people nowadays. So,
Agreed.
my first favorite, the best in all of horror comics, because it's not just about the jump scares, people. In comic books, you can see 2 pages, so you know what's coming up next.
That's why you got to use the page turn.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. It's also
Sometimes
Wes
there's an
with the
ad if you're not reading it in a book.
it's
Well, if you're not a good
also-
writer, you don't know about the page turn. Drew knows about the page turn. He's a good.
Oh, I know,
writer.
but- yeah.
Well, hold on. I do. I know it too. But like even then, it's more about the setting, the feel, the theme, everything about it. It's not just about what's next. No, it's the setting. It's how it makes you feel, and that's why the greatest of all time in horror, Hellboy, baby. Hellboy. I mean, in this, you get 2 things. You get somewhat superhero, and you get horror. And you match those together, you get Hellboy. So, yeah, this is the best.
You know what's crazy, Jimmy? I've been to Amsterdam, and I've certainly visited the red light district. And every once in a while, once that color gets to a certain hue, you look like you're one of those booths. That the ladies do. It's just the way it like lights your face up.
Give me
It's
1
the bice-
second.
It's the bisexual lighting, sir.
I'm just saying.
You ran him off, Wes.
Hey,
I didn't
Sure to
know
give
that.
us
So,
numbers.
so what we're saying is Jimmy's a whore.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you might be in
Roxanne.
Amsterdam. I don't know. They probably have gigolos there. I do want to say, if you're enjoying the conversation, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't, we're at about 90 likes. Hopefully, we can get over 100 very soon. And we got Kenneth Dowling, Chuck Dixon next week. Hot damn! Can't wait for that. Nice full Yule on Richard Dragon, top 5 fighter in the DC. Let's bring that character back. You know what's interesting? If you read Robin, they just like infer that he got his ass kicked off panel. That's why he wasn't in the tournament. That was disappointing, although I love that Robin series. And I cannot wait for the Chuck Dixon conversation. We're going to be talking about some Batman stuff like that, as you can imagine. Very excited. You should see that one on next Sunday,
Yeah.
not tomorrow.
Oh man. Okay.
Thank you very much, Kenneth Dowling. All right, Jerome, what's your favorite horror comic?
Okay. We're gonna go with. I'm gonna stay in the modern range as much as I can. I am sticking with Red Mother by Jeremy Hine. That one, I'm not sure if anyone's seen it. I don't hear no one talks about
Yeah,
that book.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, Red Mother. It's,
oh man,
she like loses her boyfriend, and everyone like she's having to go through therapy, and she gets like a puzzle box or something.
yes,
Yeah, that was a good
that,
book.
yeah, that
The
book
art was crazy.
Oh my god, that book was excellent. Out the park. Another book I think he played a part in. I wasn't quite sure because I read a few of them, but I didn't finish all of them. And that's Beauty I think I'm walking into something that he might have touched in that as well. Beauty was a good one. I like the theme of that one. The Maniac of New York. That wasn't bad neither. That I think I saw that at the top of the latter part of last year around this time. That was an excellent one as well. I'll wander a little bit with the Walking Dead. You know, that was pretty good and its initial stages as things progress. And for this week, since his birthday just passed, I gotta go with this book as well because no one's ever seems to talk about this book. As a teenager, this book startled me. It scared me. I never understood why no one has this on most of their lists, and that is The Cult, Batman, Bertie Wrightson. The writing on that was amazing. The way how Batman was broken down, I never seen that before. So,
Jim
that's
Starlin
gonna be
on script on that, if I remember correctly, too.
Say that again.
Jim Starlin on script, if I
Jim
remember.
Starlin was on that. Yeah, that book was amazing, and no one ever talks about that book like that, especially
It's
for
because
that.
Batman. There's so many classic stories. It's hard to break a top 20 list, let alone a top 10 list. You know.
I get you there.
Fucking Chuck Dixon. He put like 5 books up there. It's hard to crack.
Yeah. But The Cult was something. It was something, man. To see Batman broken down and be ran off, and you know, Robin finally saves him, and he's so scared to death he still doesn't want to do anything. It was just.
It's the other one, Venom, where he becomes an addict.
Yes.
That
That one was a good one too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's me.
I forgot one of mine. Someone did it in the chat because I totally forgot about it. Gideon Falls.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Jeff Lemire.
So
you know what's
good.
weird, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Sometimes when your light goes to green, you look like one of those booths in Dublin in the green light district. You know what I mean?
His whole face changed right about now. Jimmy, I think this light
Where you can
is
have
not working.
where you can buy sex with a leprechaun.
See, when I turned it on, it was just like
Give me your
this
pot of
type green.
gold.
I'll be back.
Jimmy, I think you. Yeah.
All right, we got Kenneth Alex says Alan Moore is the best writer in comics. That's interesting. Okay, guys, here's a fight for you. This is going to Doc. Alan Moore versus Neil Gaiman. Who's better?
I'm not doing that.
You know what? I would go with Gaiman for youth, but Alan Moore's taller. He's got a longer arm reach. I think, and he's probably got that old man strength. So he'd kick the shit out of Neil Gaiman.
He's also got wicked rings that he wears on his fingers.
Yeah.
And magic. Don't forget that.
Snake magic.
But Neil Gaiman will probably like grab Alan Moore by the hair and like kind of chick fight him, I think, a little bit.
Gaiman has a legion of women to fight for him also. So let's not forget that. Can the demons of hell go up against all the ladies that Neil Gaiman has on the side?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good question. But I think Gaiman's got or Moore's got the reach, and
he's also got the more breadth of. If you look at what he's done as a writer, he spans more kind of genres and whatnot. Neil Gaiman's kind of like in his thing. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
Neil Gaiman just has
a little
different
fantasy
comics
realm.
also.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
kind
I
of
was just-
magic.
I was just talking
Real
about the
fight
fist
in a
fight.
cage.
I don't know. I've seen Alan Moore. He looks pretty decrepit at this point in his life, but just when you look at, he could do superheroes, he can do horror, he can do supernatural, he can do docu kind of comic books, and then obviously he's written the most influential comic of all time. So
No, I wanted to get in this before.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't find a good one, so it's just gonna stay. But Alan Moore, without a doubt, is better than Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman had one giant series, and I don't know if you guys mentioned.
it's an entire universe. It's transcended comic books. He's got novels. We got a show coming up. Imagine we'll get a movie one day.
Well, we had a movie and a TV show with
That's
Watchmen,
cool.
and we had a horrible
shitty movie.
adaptation of From Hell. We had a horrible adaptation of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That was
Man.
bad.
Oh, and we had a great V for Vendetta. So I think Alan Moore, just think about all the things he did, though. Like he just did so much, and most of them weren't even with superheroes. All right, well,
I'm with you.
and sorry, I meant to say with DC and like in Marvel. He never worked for Marvel, but like for DC.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
did.
did.
What? Wait, enlighten me.
Are
Read
you
his
talking
Captain
about?
Britain stuff. Read his Captain Britain. It was actually
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
He did all the Captain Britain stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Are you
Miracle
frozen, or
Man.
is that just a weird smile that you got?
Sorry, I froze.
Oh,
You
'cause
did
you had a
it
look on
again,
your
'cause right
face.
as
I
you
was
went-
like, "This he's looking at the green light district in Dublin."
Yeah.
Can you say it again? Because I froze right as you said it.
Look,
All,
yeah,
all
it's
the
frozen.
all the British Captain Britain stuff was done by Alan Moore.
What? Okay, now
Yeah,
I
he
gotta
brought
go
up
and
that
read
he
that.
brought in all the interdimensional travel stuff with Captain Britain. That was all.
All the stuff that Claremont ended up using later during Excalibur, all introduced by Alan Moore.
You know, he also wrote.
All right, guys, we
Some
got to get
Doctor
back
Who.
on news.
Oh,
Kenneth Dalek
mhm.
says, "I was joking. I was meant who's the better comic writer, not who's got the better reach, Doc." So I got him back on track there, Kenneth. It's what I do. That was a fun one. All right, this is the last. This is the last list. Who are you going with? You'll best
All
comic
right.
stories.
I've got a few to talk about. In the old days, when I was collecting comics, Pacific Comics did Twisted Tales,
Yes.
and
Oh,
this is
wow.
like Richard Corbin coming back to comics. Anything Richard Corbin, basically, he did like they did reprints of his stuff that he did under Fanagore, which is like the Follow the Edgar Allan Poe stuff, Follow the House of Usher, that type of stuff. And then of course, he's done Hellboy, and he's done Heavy Metal, and stuff like that. So I would recommend getting those. You can find them, and usually the first story is done by him, plus a bunch of other really good people. Chat's got a bunch of really good suggestions, but if you had to just choose one person talking, I'd go Lance M. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is going to be hard for you guys to catch. It was done by Wildstorm back when Jim Lee's company was only doing like IPs.
Yeah, they did
and
that.
Gen 13.
Yeah, they did Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th too. Yeah.
Exactly. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was my favorite. And it's written by Abnett and Lanning. So, of course,
Sounds good.
And then most recently, oh no, you guys all said it either in chat or. So the last one I'll say is Afterlife with Archie. I wish I would finish also.
Is
Are
that
you
the
gonna give me a
Francisco
shout out for reminding
Francavilla?
you that there, Yule?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you going to give me a personal shout out for reminding you of that comic book before we started?
Oh, you like of Afterlife? Yeah, totally. We were joking about my spinner rack having all Archies and stuff like that. And it
Like,
reminded me
Archie's
that
got a good horror story.
Afterlife with Archie by Francavilla and that one dude, Akasa, doing the writing is excellent. Not finished, but if you can find a copy, I highly recommend it because it's beautiful and amazing and powerful. And even if you don't like Archie characters, you probably have them somewhere in your subconscious. These characters, whether you knew them or not. And it's just so freaking relatable. And the art is.
Is that the Francisco Francavilla one?
Francavilla? Yeah.
Yeah, crazy good.
Yeah. So there you
Wade
go. Those are my three.
Kramer's coming here and says, "Okay, I think Loeb and Sale's Long Halloween Dark Victory is way better than Miller's Dark Knight Returns saga." Wade,
Well,
come at me.
anything's better
No.
than that.
No.
I kind of
Negative.
agree with him. I think that the Dark Knight Returns has been watered down by all those terrible sequels, whereas the Long Halloween and Dark Victory are damn good. We got the Long Halloween special here. I think it stays up. It's more classic Batman. I kind of like it. All right, Drew, yell at me. You're clearly upset.
No, if you take the Dark Knight Returns as itself,
As itself.
Well, that's
Yes,
not what they
as
say,
itself.
though.
It says saga.
Horrible art.
Well,
if you take Dark Knight Returns at itself, it is about a man trying to find a good death who ends up finding a good life. That's what it's about. And whereas, don't get me wrong, Long Halloween, great murder mystery, Dark Victory about Robin, effectively, but I like the journey that Bruce Wayne goes through in Dark Knight Returns more than the murder mystery and the journey of Robin and Dark Victory.
Man, your synopsis sounds it was a lot better than what we got in the book.
You didn't say what the story was really
'Cause
about?
I didn't get none of that.
Oh man, you just
He
looked
just
there.
turned- he just
Your
got
whole
blue.
screen turned blue, and it looked like you were at like the the blue
Smurf
light
party.
district on Smurfs.
I'm just gonna stay like this forever. Doc, you and I are together, man.
Jerome knew what I was talking about.
Yes,
It
sir.
froze right on there. I was like,
Yes.
this dude is selling himself out in the Smurf village.
Man, what is up with you and the light districts?
I don't know. You're glowing with all these colors, man. It's just
No, but like, okay, so Dark Knight Returns, it was not that good. Like, I was so
Not that
bored
good.
halfway through it. I was so bored halfway through it. Like, by the time I was done, I was like, man, I could have read like 10
Turn that
Bendis
camera
books.
back on.
you
Jimmy.
could have read
Jimmy.
10 Bendis books that went nowhere.
Yeah.
The amount of time I read this
Yeah, I don't know
one.
what you're
show.
talking
20
about.
Jason Aaron books that went nowhere.
Yeah.
No, but
What
like,
are you talking
okay,
about?
there's a couple good moments. There are a couple good moments in there that I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like when he gets out of the Bat car for the first time. I mean, the Batmobile for the first time, and
Bat
he has
car?
that.
The
Back
Bat vehicle.
Ju-
Bat vehicle, Doc. Look.
Where-
she's blue
where's
again.
his bat RV?
No, I mean, like I don't know. I just can't stand Frank Miller, man. I just can't get behind his writing.
All right,
Wow.
Yul. He's clearly biased. Which one's better? Long Halloween or Dark Knight?
Oh, no.
Wow, I'm gonna say that the entirety of the saga is worse than Long Halloween Dark Victory, even though I'm not that big a fan of Long Halloween Dark Victory. Just because it kept its consistency, whereas Dark Knight Returns saga does not. It's just the way it is. If something in the future can affect something in the past negatively, then probably the Dark Knight Returns stuff does. But Dark Victory is no great shakes, and neither is Long Halloween. It's just it keeps its consistency once again. There you
I
go.
think you're underselling Long
I've
Halloween.
sold
What do you say,
the
Jerome? You got an
shit out
opinion on
of
this
both
one?
of them.
I'm sticking with the Dark Knight Returns. Just like everyone says, just in the box of the Dark Knight Returns. The saga, as and we're going on sagas. No, actually, Dark Knight Returns. That's it. The Dark Knight saga. That's it. That's
All
it.
right. Well, we
There
were
you go.
going to talk about the whole trans Amazon stuff in DC Cabin, but there's no reason even to get into there. We're at 2 hours. We've got like a few
Wow.
more things to talk about. So we'll skip that one. We kind of touched on that last week anyway.
I need
We
to take
do
a nap
have
before work.
the early receptions for the Eternals. It turns out this is the lowest rated so far MCU film, according to Rotten Tomatoes. It's the first one to get a rotten score. I'm sorry about that. I am sick. And, I got a little frog there in my throat.
It's okay.
I don't know, Jimmy. Are you still going to go see the Eternals, even though the critics don't seem to like this film, even though they normally slurp everything the Marvel Cinematic Universe does?
I am 100% gonna go see this because if the critics hate it, it might be decent. And well, also to be fair, the trailer is phenomenal. Man, I saw that trailer in a theater. Like on my phone, it was one thing. I was like, it's okay. But on that big screen, that trailer was phenomenal. I can't
You have
wait.
no idea how far my head is turned to side eye you right now.
Yeah,
All
Doc,
the way over here.
I don't like you that much anymore, man.
Jimmy,
I want to be
I
friends
do.
with some of these
Rest of us.
people in the chat more than you guys right now.
I love you, brother.
What did I do?
You got some really, really bad taste. I look.
You
He
gotta-
just freeze
gotta-
again. He froze again.
He
got
did,
the-
but you got to remember, Jimmy likely grew up with the prequel trilogy as
Yeah.
his Star Wars. He has a different taste, and he grew up with a different style of entertainment.
bad.
Well, obviously, there's going to be some differing opinion.
What? But I think. Look,
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see. Well, I
You're
didn't.
not weird. You're just young.
See, I didn't. I didn't
You haven't
bother
got
to see.
got jaded yet.
I
I
didn't
just
bother
turned
to see
22.
Black Widow. I didn't bother to see Shang-Chi. I'm not going to bother to see Eternals.
Black
None of
Widow
this
was crap.
entertains me.
Shang-Chi was actually surprisingly really good.
You got to watch the Shang-Chi video where Jesse Blaze Snyder loses his mind on Shang-Chi and how horrible it is.
What?
It just came on the channel yesterday.
I
There you go.
that's in my to watch list right now.
Yeah.
I was planning on
He
watching.
gets like
it
a
this morning.
15-minute rant to open the video, and let's just put it this way: he fucking hates that movie.
You gotta. I don't know who this person is. You gotta send me a link to that video though.
Jesse
Yeah,
Boy
he was
Snyder,
on there
he's,
yesterday. He was on there
he's
yesterday, actually. Yeah,
He's
He
the
gonna-
voice of Pizza Hut. He's a comic writer. He's done a bunch of stuff on Food Network. He's his dad's from Twisted Sister. He's a musician.
Really? Wow.
See,
But-
Skip and Tosh. See, like
What?
I'm happy. So, I'm not the only one, guys.
Skip knows that you're gonna get burnt by keep going down this route. He's just doing this to make you look bad. Like, let me give Jimmy the push.
That's a true friend right there.
See, like, I mean, I'm leaning towards, you know what? Everything did kind of end at Endgame. Everything else after that is like just tacked on.
Did for
bullshit.
me.
It
No,
did.
Yeah.
And I think it did for a lot of people.
We'll see. I
Like, I'm
mean,
kind of scared though because Spider-Man's ending and the director of that is going over to Fantastic Four, my favorite Marvel team, and with what he changed about
yeah.
Riveting stuff.
Word.
You're breaking up a lot, brother.
Barely Jimmy's haven't submitted on issues. When he gets back, he'll get to complete his rant. We got Kenneth Dowling says, "Yeah, I saw that Eternals has a low rating. I have
I
not
hate
heard
my life.
had an interest in the movie, but I may see it out of curiosity." Drew, you're a big movie guy. You're an MCU guy. Are you going to see it out of curiosity?
Probably not. No, if I do see it, I'm gonna make sure Kyle, my brother, pays for me to see it, or Sean pays for me to see it. But I do.
Kyle's your brother
Yeah,
with a weird spelling.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. I didn't even realize you two were brothers.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm the older one. Yeah, he's the younger one. But yeah, I
Does he
really
have a
don't
beard?
What's that?
Does he have a beard? He looks
Yeah.
older now.
Yeah, but yeah, he does. But I really have no interest in seeing this movie. It doesn't look exciting to me. It doesn't look. I mean, I go to Marvel films to be for fun escapism, excitement, good villains, great heroes. I'm like, everything just looks. I don't want to say generic. It just looks like agreed upon by committee. You know, it's like, all right, this is how the costumes are going to look. This is what they're going to say. This is what they're going to look. It's like, all right, this meets every metric. All right, so
It's going to be as unoffensive as possible.
yes, yeah. And someone in the comments just said, "This is the movie diversity, diversity, diversity." I'm like, if you listen to the crew, the cast and crew at the premiere, that was like every single word that they were saying, every single one of them. It's like that was what
I forgot to
told me
mention how
say.
great the movie was and how exciting it was.
Just diversity, diversity, diversity. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, how about just a fun movie? Can we just have a fun movie? You know,
They don't want to do that no more. It's just diversity. Once you hear diversity and inclusion, back up.
Here's
Back
the
up.
thing about that.
it's like I'm out.
This movie
No.
is possibly the first true diverse movie because there's everyone's in it. But when you got Black Panther and they're like, diversity, I'm like, that's not diversity. That's just a room of black people.
Yeah.
I want to see
Right.
diverse basketball teams. Why?
Man, you can
Nah,
go down the
why
wild
would I
side.
do
It's not
that?
that fun,
Nah.
Joel.
It's
Like,
just
man,
a
I feel
pickup
bad
game
for
at
that
the
guy. He
park
just got
then.
dunked on again.
Some little 5'6" manlet, just like
Well, it's
trying to
not
play
fair
basketball.
that they don't give short people a chance in the NBA
Hey,
as much.
hey
as
Muggsy
they do.
Bogues, he was good. He was good.
That was a long
5'6",
time
he's good,
ago.
but-
Yeah.
So Skip and Tosh, making Jimmy feel good is what I do. Making Wes look sus. What? Get out of here with that nonsense, man.
That's a true guy right there, man.
Yeah, he's pushing you off the cliff. Did you want to finish whatever it is that you were saying about the Eternals and how amazing the trailer looked?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just saying like it looks good, but wait, where was I at?
No idea.
Don't
Nobody-
ask me.
I said something about Spider-Man. Did you guys hear that?
No,
you were saying
Spider-Man
that the
director is going to
Fantastic Four
Fantastic
director.
Four, and he did so much to Spot. That's
Oh
my
yeah,
stuff.
what he did so much to change Spider-Man that I'm worried about what he's gonna do to change Fantastic Four, and I don't want you to change the Fantastic Four. We already got massive changes in the first 3 movies, and they weren't good. Give us,
I know
like,
how
We
I
need
know
the
how
Mark
he's gonna
Russell
change them.
Fantastic Four is what we need.
Oh God!
I know how
don't
he's going to
say that
change
name.
them. Everybody's going to be, they're going to be all using fucking Stark tech. That's all that you're going to end up with in Fantastic Four. Oh, it's
They
Stark
could.
tech.
They
It's
could
like
follow
pin
the
particles
comic
don't
book.
even matter anymore, Doc.
I know.
God.
I just can't do it.
Pin
If you
particles
change
used to solve
Fantastic Four,
everything.
you're not going to be my friend. That's just how it is.
All right, Yule. I'm sorry. I jumped in there and I was too
No, it
loud.
doesn't matter.
It does matter.
They,
'cause like
I
it.
said they can do something different and follow the comic book. You know, that'd be something. Whether it's Eternals or Fantastic Four. I was talking with my buddy, and he said like the only person in comic books that really got the real treatment was probably like Peacemaker.
Man, that was
kept that
good too,
stupid
man. That was
helmet.
like,
And that helmet, was
Yeah,
extra shiny.
I like it.
and that line, I thought you wanted peace. I do, and I'll kill every innocent woman and children in the world to get it.
Yeah. Anyway, Eternals is gonna probably suck because we could, right?
I'm gonna.
Well,
be the
normally
hopeful
when
one
the
here.
the critics are low, everyone's like, "Oh, the movie must be good." But in this case, the critics are low, and everyone's just kind of laughing, like I figured. So,
Yeah,
They're
this
kinda
is one
changing
that
the
they
genre.
can't even get their shills to like. I
It
mean,
doesn't look
Yeah,
good.
that's just it. Yeah, the show critics are not liking this, and they're just saying it's boring.
yeah,
That's
and,
the
and,
problem.
and that's the kiss of death.
Well,
That's-
I think it might be okay.
they like going to these premieres, and if there's less of those to go to, then why bother liking it, right?
Well, the here, like the thing is with Eternals. Once again, I come back to the fact that this is Jack Kirby's reject material from when he was creating the Fourth World, that he repackaged as a thing at Marvel, and no one has ever been able to make it work.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody. We've had Jack Kirby try it. We've had the Avengers in the 80s with Roger Stern try it. We had Neil Gaiman try it. We're currently having,
Kieran
I don't
Gillen.
know, some fucking loser try it. And it doesn't work. It's what there's been a direct correlation between how close you adhere to the source material and how good the source material is to audience loving it throughout the entire comic, industry boom. You get those two variables as close to possible, and you're going to have a successful movie. Now you have an unsuccessful comic that no one has ever made work. You're going to end up with an unsuccessful movie.
But all right, so the thing about Jack Kirby though is even if it's his reject cast off stuff, it's probably a little bit more creative than almost anything we see these days.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would
And
agree
it
with
just
that, yeah.
takes Grant Morrison to explain a mother box to me to make me understand it in today's time,
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman couldn't make anybody give a shit about the.
Well, so the thing about the Eternals, and I think you were seeing this with the Kieran Gillen book, is that it's always a reintroduction to the reader because nobody knows the Eternals or cares. And I think Gillen's doing a good job. It's very eccentric if you are thinking about superhero comics. So it's different. It's kind of like a watered down Miracle Man type story. And I like it though. And the Neil Gaiman, he was reintroducing you to the characters. They were reborn into these other bodies and whatnot. And
That part.
it's
was
like
good,
I've
yeah.
seen that story so many times in so many other types of books that it wasn't really that great. But this is the hurdle that I think that they're always working with when it comes to the Eternals. And then they chose to make a movie out of it.
Mhm.
And that kind of leads right into Kenneth Dowling's point here. He says, if you have diversity, but the movie isn't good, then no one will care. It hurts the cause and people will roll their eyes. Kevin Feige openly admitted the reason that they chose the Eternals is not enough people cared about the characters to where they could do a bunch of swaps as far as gender, race, and sexuality swaps, and there would be no objection.
There you go.
Which is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is true. No
Exactly
one.
what he said.
Makari got changed to a woman, right? And no one's going to be triggered by that because no one knows him.
Right.
and no one
know?
cares.
Yeah, no,
Right.
yeah. It's like
It's already happened in the comic books, and no one asked me to make a video about it. Let me put it that way. No one said,
Nobody-
Wes, did you see this? You might want to talk about it. They said, you weren't reading that Eternals comic, are you? I was like, nah. Me neither.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they explain it away, and these are kind of like the X-Men. They're kind of their bodies get reborn, and after
I gotta see that one.
100,000 years, I'll just try a different body skin, type thing. And it really, it's like, okay, I'll accept it. That's it.
And-
We shall see if the MCU is bulletproof. Obviously, when the box office comes out, if it still does good, then they can do anything that they want.
50 million
Eternals.
worldwide.
That would be
That would
a phenomenal flop.
Yeah, 50
Don't
million.
they have a problem with China right now? Also,
It's not getting released in China. It's not getting.
That's
China
why I'm
released.
saying 50 million worldwide.
Why is it not getting released in China?
The director made some disparaging comments about China. She's Chinese, and she made some disparaging comments about the government. So they said no.
Also, the LGBTQ representation, because China banned that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did. Yeah, they're not having it.
Twinkie
They're not
man
having it.
can't be on
Yeah, they're not having
media.
it. Can't be mad at them in somewhat ways. I understand.
hell
Yeah, but that's another story.
I don't know where you're going. All right, the
Yeah.
Eternals is gonna suck.
No, that's literally the thing that they said. That, that
yeah,
that kind of representation of men is not
We're not
permitted in
having
the
it.
media anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kenneth Dowling says on Lane Kramer's comment, Long Halloween and Batman Year One are my top 5 Batman stories. I say Batman Year One is like way better than The Dark Knight Returns. I think that's the best Frank Miller Batman.
Batman Year One
Yes.
is.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what helps? Not having Frank Miller's art.
Oh man.
Well, I will agree
don't
with
you want to show your
Jay,
face?
because nobody's better than Mazzucchelli. But
Yes,
you
but Frank's
lucked into
art
that
in
one.
the '80s was still solid. Frank's art in the
He's
'80s
probably
was
the
solid.
greatest writer artist in the history of comics.
Go read
Right
Ronin.
now.
No.
Go read Ronin,
Mike
boy.
Mignola. I'll take Mike Mignola over anyone.
He's not in the conversation.
Dude, Duncan Fegredo does a better Hellboy than McNilla. I'll just have you
Oh,
know that.
okay.
Jack Kirby,
You
it's-
watch your mouth, man.
It's Will Eisner. It's Frank Miller.
I can't help what's right is right, man.
While on the
That's
subject of
what's
Year
right.
One, Batman Year One, get the Absolute Edition. It comes in 2 two hard cases. One of them is the first 4 issues in the original newsprint, oversized newsprint. You can read Batman Year One. It's amazing.
You know what's good? The first time I read Year One, I was at Pike's Place Market in Seattle, and they have a very, very small bookstore underneath there, and it was sitting on top of like a giant stack of actual novels. And I picked it up. I was like, "This looks like a weird Batman." And I picked it up, read it, and I was like, "Yeah, it was pretty good."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was just solid.
You and I have different opinions on what makes a good Batman comic.
Oh no, the best Batman story of all time, I think, is Court of Owls.
Court of Owls?
Yeah,
It's all right.
I love it, man. The Court of Owls.
That's like
That's like I said,
oh.
guys. Jimmy's gonna tell you that his favorite Star Wars movie was The Phantom Menace. It's because when he was bored.
No, it's
Yeah,
Return.
I get it.
Return's my favorite.
Oh,
Revenge of the Sith.
Ewoks.
No, Ewoks. Yeah, he likes Ewoks. There's a
No,
simple
no. I just
dividing
like
line.
the giant sandworm that eats everything. The Sarlacc pit. Come on. Also, Princess Leia in the bikini. Come on, get out of here, guys.
Wasn't
All
that
right, there you
mostly?
Whatever. Let's get out of here. Let's talk about our favorite horror movies of all times. There have been 2 horror films that I started, and two of them that have never finished in my entire life. One of them is The Exorcist. My parents had rented it. They told me to stay upstairs. I snuck downstairs and I watched it from the stairs. And about the point where she was crawling on the ceiling, I was in tears, crying bloody murder. And my mom and dad felt like terrible parents, and they had to put me to bed. I've never actually finished the movie. And the other one is Pet Sematary. That little kid with the scalpel cutting up adults really freaked me out, man. Those are, it's all, as far as scary movies goes, those are it for me. And then like my favorite scary movie is actually 28 Days Later. I really like Danny Boyle.
That was a good one, yeah. With the
All right,
rats.
Jerome,
running.
you sound like you're ready to jump in here. What's your favorite horror film?
It's too many of them. It's I like Jeepers Creepers, the second one. That was pretty cool. that was pretty cool. My favorite is Evil Dead 2. I've probably
that
seen
sounds
Evil
so
Dead.
good.
I probably
Perfect
seen Evil.
bridge of comedy and horror.
Yes, I probably seen
Three
Evil Dead.
Stooges.
I seen Evil Dead 2 maybe about 60 times, maybe even more. Maybe even
When his
more.
hand loses it and is like
Yes.
flipping him off.
Oh,
And going
man.
through the
Army
wall.
of Darkness.
That's not.
That's a comedy. That's
yeah.
not
I couldn't even.
I was
Army,
debating on that one.
Army of
That's a good
Darkness.
one, though.
Yeah. I
They're all
still love.
great.
I still love Child's Play. The second one, I can watch that. I can recite the lines. You know, when you watch
Is that the one where they're at the military camp? Where
No,
the
that's the
kids are
first
going
one.
to military
3.
school?
Yeah.
That's the
three,
third
okay.
one. That's the third one. The second one is when they're in the toy factory, and he's like, "Andy, please, I was just playing."
Yeah.
The Strangers is another one.
Mm.
It Follows. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that one.
That's
That
the
was like-
STD horror movie.
Yeah, that movie
Yeah.
that was a sleeper. That was really good. And Halloween, you know, with Dr. Loomis, you know, 1 and 2. You got to put those together almost. 1 and 2. When he tell a guy, when the guy said, "What is this? Some death wish?" And he's like, "You don't know what death is." It's like, oh, killed them. Stuff like what else? Carrie's a good one. Carrie's
Another
good one. Yes.
Now,
yes.
wait, are you talking about the original or like 2014 Netflix?
The
one?
original.
The original, but I do like Chloe though. I do like Chloe. Chloe she can play some good horror roles. You know, she's good. She's a good actor.
Sissy Spacek. Sissy had that look in her eyes that on that stage. Those eyes were just like, oh my! I'm going nowhere near this woman at all.
You don't. Yeah. Any woman you see in the street that look remotely like her, you'll be scared,
Yeah.
right?
Turn the other way. You go across the street.
Yes.
Lave Kramer says Black Mirror is better than Court of Owls. I couldn't agree with you more. Black Mirror is the best Batman story Scott Snyder ever wrote. It's certainly a horror one at that. So that was a great call, in my opinion. Kenneth Dowling says Evil Dead. Of all the horror movies I've seen, that one still stays with me. Sam Raimi is a genius. Absolutely. Anytime you have like a tree raping a chick, that one was pretty crazy. Isn't that the one where they smash the thing down and the eyeball goes in her mouth?
Yes.
That's such a good movie. My parents rented that for my older brother's birthday.
Oh man,
that's a good one.
What the hell am I?
The whole Evil Dead trilogy is just amazing.
Yes, Jimmy, you need to watch Evil Dead.
You never seen Evil Dead?
I've seen Army of Darkness because I thought that was the first one.
No,
that's the comedy. That's the third. Evil Dead is a straight horror movie. It took them 8 years to make.
Yes.
All right, I'll check it out.
Jimmy, the second one. I want to.
I love it. Still great.
To me, the second one is better than the first one.
Okay.
The first one is okay, but the second one is you can just watch it over and over again. It was just so epic.
Yeah, it's the perfect bridge between the two films. Absolutely.
Yes.
We got Kenneth Dowling here says we're defending Jimmy now.
Hell
Mr. Gigolo.
We're spending money to do that.
Add the weird lighting for the red light and green light and blue light districts.
What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness! Return of the Jedi does have the best space battle of all times.
Yeah, I'd say it's better than the first one.
Yes, you're winning here.
Yeah.
The trench run on the original Death Star.
Yeah, that's definitely better than that.
I don't know, man. That thing was great when it's Luke and you see Porkins and you see all those great fighter pilots. I mean, Porkins isn't even with us anymore. You can't even call him that because you're fat shaming him. You know what I mean?
He will always be Porkins.
They're calling him Slim now.
Yeah, it's so mean.
Yeah, like calling
Red
him
Leader, Gold Leader. Oh. I love the first one. That's
I love the dude. Return of the Jedi is so cool, and that scene, man, that scene where he jumps off that like plank diving board thing, grabs his lightsaber.
It's not a space battle.
No, I'm just talking about the scene in general.
That was a heist. That was like a jailbreak.
I know. I'm saying that scene right there too is really good. I'm not just talking about.
But that's not what Kenneth was defending you on, man.
But that scene entirely is dope.
That's what happens when you go defending Jimmy. He goes back in time. All right, who else we got? Jimmy, what did we do your favorite horror movies? We did your favorite horror movies, didn't we? All right, what's your favorite?
Okay. One of them is I'm sorry, guys. Man, this is the worst episode for me. Okay, so
don't put yourself down on those other ones.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
It was chopping mall, right?
Sell yourself short. Man.
It hasn't been that bad as far as you know. Don't worry.
All right, so my third favorite is possibly Freddy vs. Jason.
What?
I just like it. I don't know why. I just like the idea of Jason and Freddy going at it. Like two immortal beings going after each other. Hell yeah. I thought that was cool. Hellboy's not person in the chat. Hellboy is not a horror movie. And my second favorite is an actual crazy good one. I got great taste in horror, by the way, people. I got great taste in horror. It's called Hereditary. It came out recently.
Oh yeah, I gotta
In
see that
2019.
one too. Yeah, you're right.
The
I wanna
movie
see
was
that.
so good because it like every time you think, oh, here comes a jump. No, no jump scare. It changed it to something else, and you're like, oh, so it's mainly about this story about payment or whatever. And it was just really good. The actors were insanely good. Yeah, I really love that movie. Like the first time I called my grandma right after I watched that movie, I was like, "Hey, Grandma, can you start praying, please?" It was crazy. And my favorite of all time is a two-parter, and it's It Chapter 1 and 2. I really like
The made for TV movie, or are you talking about the recent one?
The recent ones.
The recent ones. I like the
those
recent
good.
ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just
You're right.
because,
The original was better.
I keep hearing that.
well, yeah. I mean,
my
they're
daughter
all
tells
good.
me that. Yeah.
They're all
Tim Curry
good.
was a pretty
Yeah.
insane Pennywise.
Tim Curry was crazy. I really like how they did the kids growing up, and you got actually good actors to play them, and not just cheap people so they can make money off the first one like they did. So I really like it. Yeah, I really love these movies. And like for me, horror doesn't have to be jump scare. No, it has to have a good story to go with it.
You said Freddy versus Jason. You threw good story right out the window when you mentioned that film.
No, I told you right as I said that. I go, I don't know why, I just like it.
That's fine, but you
You
said it
ever
has
get
to
one
have
of
good
those, like-
story, and you just mentioned one of your favorites that had no story.
Yeah, but the next three did.
You do have Freddy versus Jason versus the Necronomicon in the
Okay,
comic
well,
books if
how
you want
about,
to see.
okay, I'll switch out that one for
No, you don't need to do that.
No.
one.
Nightmare,
You got your
Nightmare
list.
3.
You are cemented. in
Yeah,
it right now.
we got Brennan Walton says, anybody remember the old Sleepaway Camp movies? I feel like that was a fever dream I had. The first one you could never remake anymore because of the reveal at the end.
Nope.
Right,
Yes,
Drew?
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's
That was like-
it's
Actually,
much more love now than it. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
beyond cult now. You know, people are really digging this movie again.
Yeah, that was absolutely a fantastic one. That was a big reveal. M. Night Shyamalan is jealous.
M.
That
Night
twist
Shyamalan
still
is
works.
the worst director in Hollywood history. I hate
The
that.
worst.
Well,
Dude,
Zack
his
Snyder still
dialogue is
exists,
horrible.
so I don't know where you're going with that
No,
one.
Yeah,
what?
wow.
No. Dude.
Don't say that without
Dude,
Fatal J
no,
here.
no. M. Night
That's
Shyamalan
like
has the worst
campaigning.
dialogue ever.
Well, Kenneth Alex says the first Halloween was really good. Damn, Jamie Lee Curtis was fine. She was. She was also fine in Trading Places.
Yes, she was.
You know what I'm saying,
yeah.
Jerome?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
also
That
fine in
and,
True Lies.
True Lies. Yeah, I was
True
about to go
Lies,
there.
Yeah. She was also fine
True
in
Lies.
Freaky Friday. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see that. That's something my daughter would watch. So-
Yeah, that's one of Jimmy's favorite movies.
You only watch the Jodie Foster version.
Freaky
Okay?
Fridays. What
Don't watch
did
an
you say,
updated
Jimmy?
version
Just
of
the
that.
cover? You said what was it, Jimmy? Was it the cover? The cover?
No,
alone?
I just said that because I knew she was in it.
Oh, okay.
This is what a lie sounds like.
Yeah, he's trying to cover it. It's fine. Kenneth Alex says you could never top Tim Curry. He's a treasure. That's true. You're never
I
going to
gotta-
beat that Pennywise.
I
It
need
was
to see
smart for the
that.
new hit movies to not even try to do it.
Yeah,
They just went in a whole new direction.
I gotta see that. That one I never saw. I always saw the first two that just came out, and I was stunned by the horror action sequences in there. The sequences in there were out of the world. Like, oh man, this is great. And I keep hearing about the first one, so I gotta.
Tim Curry is terrifying in those
Yeah.
two films. It is, yeah, you'll never forget him. Never forget
Back
that.
in 2007, there was this knockoff blockbuster called Hollywood Video, and there was a VHS. There was a VHS of It with Tim Curry, and it was the cover scared the living daylights out of me. It was all
Yeah.
white, except for
Yes.
his face peeking
Yeah.
out behind the It.
I
Letters.
saw that
It
one.
was
Yeah,
scary.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
actually scary, unlike this one that was fucking boring.
All right,
know what?
guys. We got
Yeah.
common sense here. It says Trick or Treat is a great movie. Actually, I've never seen that one. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of horror films. I've missed Trick or Treat. It's the Halloween anthology that John Carpenter wanted, and Halloween 3 is underrated.
Halloween 3 is just a crazy movie.
Is Trick or Treat good?
It's okay. It's not bad.
Sorry, common sense. Drew's not with you.
I'm going with that Halloween 3 too. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's a good
You know what
watch.
sucked was Halloween H2O.
Halloween
Yes.
water. Yeah.
Sucked
Yes.
so bad. Kenneth
Yeah.
Alec, Jamie Lee Curtis was their finest of True Lies. I was tipping $20. Nolan Nerd says, has anyone seen Event Horizon? Yes.
God damn it!
Hellblazer in
stole
space.
mine.
Yeah.
That
It
movie
stole
is
my
so damn good.
That stole my fucking choice.
Well,
I thought you were
Scary? Event
Event
Horizon's
Horizon?
not scary.
That is
I thought
absolutely a
first
horror
half
movie.
good, second half bad.
Where we're
Great.
going, you don't need eyes.
Bro,
Yeah.
Event
Wow.
Horizon's not scary. If we're going like, well,
It was
what was
pretty-
that?
Gruesome, at least, you know.
Huh? Gigolo Jimmy live from the Dublin's Green Light District.
Oh my god!
Nice.
If we're saying Event Horizon's scary, then we'll say
I'm not-
2001
I
Space
never-
Odyssey's scary.
It's
This
just a horror movie.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
need.
say scariest movie ever.
Yes,
Just
it
best
doesn't say
horror.
scariest movie. It's the best horror movie. And Event Horizon is my favorite horror movie.
All
This is
right.
good. That was great. Sam Neill.
Yeah,
The-
Sam
this
Neill
thing was
plays-
crazy.
Especially the ending where you find out
Lawrence
that,
Fishburne.
yeah, and they're not actually they're not saved. It's still coming. They open the door to hell and hell's
Yes.
here.
That was it. It's a Hellraiser on a spaceship.
Yes.
Damn good movie. I agree.
I'm surprised no one brought that up.
Chris says The Last Exorcism is my favorite.
You know, wait a minute. Oh, I'm thinking of Emily Rose. Never mind.
I was thinking of the
yeah,
Exorcism of
that
Emily
one.
Rose. as well.
Yeah, yeah, that was all right with the
It was a
pastor,
solid
right?
flick.
I don't remember The Last Exorcism. I'm sorry,
I
Chris.
think it was
I-
shot like a POV style. So,
Yeah.
like this fake reverend was like a fake exorcist. And
Yeah,
It was-
that's the Emily
it was
Rose one. Yeah, that one
fake.
wasn't bad.
It was like a fake documentary.
yeah,
Yeah.
Last Exorcist, yeah.
So we all like the Blair Witch Project, right?
No,
Well,
It
to
was
me,
good.
maybe
in its
one.
time, it was
maybe
great.
one, maybe
Yeah.
one or two, and
Yeah, I'm
after
talking about
that,
the first one, the
yeah, first
original.
one.
yeah.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the one
shit,
that
man.
started the
Shaky
know,
cam.
shaky cam. We're recording on our
Oh, okay.
phones.
Do you know what a VHS tape is?
Yes.
Yes,
You
I
might
grew
not
up
like
with.
it,
I
Jimmy.
told you earlier. I grew up with VHS tapes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just forgot.
Man,
who
I
else
watched
we
The
got?
Mummy
I got my
1999
five.
on
Oh,
that
good.
VHS.
Up there.
We've
I got
got
mine.
Yule next.
Oh, you're gonna go me? That's fine.
Yeah, Drew apparently is the horror film aficionado.
Oh,
Let him
okay.
go
Well, I'm gonna talk about a couple funny ones really quick. Lair of the White Worm. They're
Yes.
all old, by
Yes.
the way.
That's a good one.
Lair of the White
Hugh
Worm. It
Jackman.
has a
Not
young
Hugh Jackman, Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant. Yeah.
Beautiful man. And it's got this like this what we call the dimensional dildo of death at the end, and you got to stick around for it. It's amazing.
You
That
must really
actress-
like teeth then.
That actress in Lair of the White Worm, she is flipping gorgeous. I
She
forget what
used to be an ER for a while too.
really.
Yeah.
Ooh, check those out
Wait,
now.
ER? LA Law. LA Law.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, one of those. Another one, Reanimator. I saw someone in chat talk about that. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's hilarious. You can watch that with someone you love, because if they love you afterwards, it'll be okay. And then again, some older ones. Really big on the black and white Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, that
John
was-
Carpenter's The Thing.
I mean, I like
Oh
the
yeah,
blob.
yeah.
good.
Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in London.
yeah, that was good.
And then lastly, my favorite, I mean, it's kind of suspense more, but Silence of the Lambs. That's
It's
it's
definitely
a
got
top
Oh,
five
that's
movie for
great.
me personally.
Man,
Oh.
Skipitosh is in here. He says Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood, Dennis Miller in the house,
Yeah.
Tales from the Hood 1, Blair Witch, and Brain Scan.
Ooh, brain
Brain
scan.
Scan. I've never
Yeah,
really seen that
Skip
one.
with the brain scan. That's a
Yeah, it's with
different-
Edward Furlong, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that one. I have seen that one. That is a good one. I do like that. It's a
Man,
little
why
trippy.
hasn't anyone mentioned Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That's
What?
a good one. They fret,
It's not
they-
as good. Like if you're going to go low budget, you got to go Evil Dead. It's so much better.
Well,
You know,
they
No,
don't have
no,
cotton
you
candy
go-
wraps though, cocoons, and that's pretty awesome.
but okay, I need you, Yule, and Drew to watch a movie that is technically horror, called Teeth.
I have seen it.
Let's see your teeth. All right, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
So
You guys
messed
need to
up.
watch Rubber as well. It's about a tire that goes insane and kills people.
I saw that. It's so bad.
Wow.
This is good, man. It's
Yeah. When
they
did
made
it
a
come out?
tire. I don't know, probably like 10 years ago, maybe a little bit
Oh,
more than that.
okay. Gotta look for it then. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
you gotta
brother
watch
showed
Rubber.
me that as a joke.
It's a real movie.
Yeah, I didn't
No one's
believe you at
forgetting about
first. Yeah.
Leprechaun, by the way.
Uh,
No one's
Leprechaun's
forgetting about
great.
Leprechaun.
The pot of gold.
Yeah, the first one.
Leprechaun in the Hood, like when the real revival of the series.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Oh
I ran from
yeah,
that.
Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, great one.
I'm
All right,
surprised.
Drew. All right, go for it, Doc.
Oh,
I hope it's a
well,
joke. and it lands.
since my first one was stolen, I have one other one. Aliens.
Oh yes,
Really,
it's
Aliens is
fantastic.
great.
Yeah. And now I also have Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
that's
Really good one.
fun. That's just if you
It's
get the
just
horror
that
movie tropes, if you get the
Yes.
tropes, you'll enjoy Tuck. Yeah, you'll get that. You'll
If,
like
if
that.
you Tucker and
Well,
Dale
which
versus
one?
Evil.
Which
for the
one are you?
tropes.
Did you say Alien or Aliens?
Both
of
Alien
them.
and Aliens.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
you
both
actually
fantastic.
I distinguish between Alien and Aliens because
Yeah,
the other
Alien-
one's so over the top.
I think Aliens
It's the same.
is not really scary. It's more of an action movie.
Again, it's still a
Action
horror
horror.
movie. It's an action horror movie.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go
No,
with that.
Alien is absolutely just a pure horror movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Aliens was an action horror movie. Alien 3 was just a bad movie.
Yeah.
It was a bad movie. All right, Drew,
Yeah.
you're the scary movie aficionado. You said you got a list.
Like a true aficionado, I knew people in our group that today would bring up ones that I would mention. So I already came prepared with another list of others I would mention as well. They're just as great.
Okay.
One is Zombie by Lucio Fulci. It came out in the late 70s. All I'm gonna say is Zombie versus Shark. Zombie takes a bite out of the shark. Shark takes a bite out of the zombie. Awesome. And Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but with Donald Sutherland from the 1970s.
Oh, yeah.
That is fantastic. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum
Good
is
one.
amazing.
Okay.
Have you seen the original one
Yes, I have. Yeah,
from the back of the day? Yeah, the remake's better because of the special effects, but the original one's pretty creepy too.
yeah. It that big reveal at on that and on the spider web at the,
The
end.
little-
Yes.
Yeah, the spider web. Yeah,
The Freaks is another one. It's a black and white one from the 40s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the most horrific endings ever.
didn't
And,
they remake that one recently?
I don't think so. No, that's one I don't think you can because they used actual circus freaks on that set, which was
Oh.
Pinheads and everything,
That's not
right?
what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of.
and
Are
the
you
last
thinking
one,
of the Crazies, Wes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they did.
No,
Yeah,
I
that
think
wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And the last one I'm going to mention is The Blob from 1987. That is
That's
a
so
terrific-
good.
That is a great horror film. It's
The
arguably-
80s remake is awful.
What? It is fantastic. 80s remake.
Oh wait, I
Kevin
thought we were
Dillon?
talking about
Yes.
The
Steve
original.
McQueen.
The original is Stephen Queen. It's a comedy more than anything else. But watch the remake.
Great.
The
Watch the
original
remake.
is on HBO Max.
Watch the original. It's so much better.
Watch the remake with Kevin Dillon. It's got all. Frank Darabont wrote it. It is fantastic. Watch it.
It's the
It's
original.
great.
The blob is fantastic. You just have a blob that eats everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you-
Just
Oh,
moving across the street.
1960s, The Last Man on Earth is great too as well.
Oh, Vincent Price.
No. Vincent Price is the Omega Man.
Oh, the Omega Man. Yeah. No. Vincent Price was the last man on Earth. Omega Man was Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Those are the first two remakes of, or the first two movies of I Am Legend.
I Legend. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and by the way, the book is one of the best horror books I've ever read. Possibly
I
one of the
nobody
best
said
books.
Creep Show, but man, those are
Ooh.
hilarious and creepy
Yeah.
and fun.
Yeah.
I love the
scene
Stephen
with the
King
bug- with the bugs. Oh my god. That's
Oh yeah,
Man.
exactly. It's just a real classic EC, horror, obviously.
Have you guys seen The Fog? That does have one of the craziest endings in the history of movies.
The original or the remake?
The remake.
Yeah. The remake.
Remake. John
With
Carpenter
Tom-
wanted nothing to do with that remake. He hated it.
That's
He
the
just-
one where they decide to off themselves, but there isn't another bullet left for himself, and then
Oh no,
the
no,
cavalry
that's the
show up to
mist.
save him?
That
That's
was
the
mist.
mist.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
mist,
the
okay.
mist. That's
Yeah.
the mist. Yeah.
I was like, that is a nutty ending. That's
It
pretty.
was so crazy because like not even a minute later, the military shows up and
Yeah.
he just
We're here to
sits
save
there.
The you know what? Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight though had the best soundtrack of any horror movie ever
Hey,
made.
you got Jada
Yeah.
Pinkett Smith
Ooh,
in
yeah.
an early starring role.
Yeah.
What do you got against Jada?
Nothing.
Jerome?
Nothing. Just
So she's in an open relationship.
Yeah.
She done Will Smith dirty.
He's in an open relationship too. It doesn't go only one way.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's what you think.
That's what you think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, one other one. I just
Jeez.
remembered. Black Christmas from the 1970s. The original Black Christmas. It is amazing. One of the best deaths ever. Death by Saran Wrap. It is amazing.
Was Frosty? Was that the one that was like a horror snowman movie?
That was Jack Frost.
Jack Frost
Frost,
with
yeah.
Jack with Michael Keaton.
No,
There was
that
another-
one, yeah,
there was a
Shannon
different-
Elizabeth in it. Shannon Elizabeth. That was like her first movie. She ends up dying in that shower, I think.
Oh, there's
What's it? Is it Krampus? Is that what's the one with
Krampus. I remember
the
that one too.
insane Santa Claus?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Krampus,
was
that
Krampus from a
came
couple
out like
years ago.
2016.
Yeah.
And don't they got that other one? Was it Silent Night? Deadly Night,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Isn't there one with Bill Goldberg where he's Santa Claus killing people?
Oh my god, I did see that. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
that's something.
No, there's also 2 Adam Green movies that should be notarized as well. That
Notarized. Are we going to
Notarized.
I'm
legal
going to
proceedings?
notarize it.
That should be
We signed a
noticed.
contract.
That should be and one of them's Frozen, where they're trapped on like the ski dolly where it takes you up at night.
They're just sitting on a ski thing for an hour.
Bro, it's a good movie. Just stop.
You know, actually, the Saw series ended up pretty good. Like, because it had a pretty good through line throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like the entire series.
Torture porn doesn't do it for me.
I know it doesn't really do it for me, but I mean, as a horror series, it wasn't
I
bad.
gotta let you guys know. Go to Cartoonist Kayfabe because someone did a 4-minute video of a Red Room, like the comic book. And
I thought you were going to be talking about like Jimmy, like in the booth.
I'm sorry, I'm
I've
plugging
seen
another
that.
site, but any Red Room people out there, you got to go and check it out because it's freaking awesome. My new favorite horror movie is that 4-minute video. It's pretty cool.
All right. Let's wrap
It's
this
torture
thing up.
porn,
We've
though.
talked about all this stuff enough. Kenneth Dowling's here. John Carpenter's The Thing. The dog scene was the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Ooh.
And I wasn't eating Chinese food when I saw it. Listen, the grossest thing ever is in Saw 3, I believe, when the one guy picks up the lady and throws her in a vat of used hypodermic needle.
That's the second
Oh,
one. That was the second
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
number
most
2,
disgusting
right?
thing ever.
That is
Can you
the worst
imagine all
scene
the
of all
hepatitis in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But the
that's a
dog
good
scene is
actress.
absolutely disgusting.
Mhm.
The thing is,
Yeah, not her death or anything, just the hepatitis though, right?
She lived.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
rather
so,
die
right?
than get hepatitis.
No, I watched the first one. I was like, this is not for me. Chief.
Yeah, when did people start cutting their own limbs off?
You know, I remember somebody brought up the Crazies earlier. You know, that movie would have made sense if the end of that movie and those two escaping and then the nuke going off would have led directly into the Dawn of the Dead, Romero Living Dead movies. Like that it mutated whatever that virus that was making them all crazy into turning them into zombies.
Well,
That was
what's
exceptionally out
hysterical
of nowhere.
so the Crazies, the original was directed by George Romero, who directed Night of the Living Dead, which is pretty much the same setup.
There
Exactly.
you go.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the prequel we didn't know about.
Yeah.
But the thing is fantastic. Kurt Russell is a king among men. And
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble in
Yeah.
Little China, man.
yeah,
It's never going to be beaten. This is my
The
top
only
5.
thing-
So.
Sky High.
The only thing I hate is whenever you rename a sequel the same as the original. So there's 2 The Thing movies, and they are one's a sequel to the other, and
one's
that
a
one
prequel.
always.
It's supposed
Yeah,
to be
I
a
know.
prequel.
Oh, yeah, it's a prequel.
Mhm.
But they're both named the same, and they're not. That bugs me. Stop doing that, Hollywood.
All right, Doc. You know what bugs me? When
Me?
you don't have a great comic book recommendation, what are you recommending this week, buddy?
I am recommending Inferno #2, Sword number whatever the hell issue it was that came
9.
out 9, and I think I'm you know what? I can't entirely recommend Wolverine. You know what? I'm going to recommend Wolverine. Just don't read any of the scenes with them at a fucking karaoke bar.
God, that was terrible.
It was awful.
The rest of like only read the parts with like that CIA guy Jeff Bannister. Just ignore the Wolverine parts of the book. But yeah, that's I think what I'm going for this week, and back issues, of course, back issues.
All right, Jimmy, what abomination are you recommending this week?
What? What do you mean abomination? I only pick bangers. So
You say this like you think that you're telling the truth.
I do
It's
because
fine.
I'm choosing Lila Star by Ram V because I reread that. It's still so good. And I'm choosing Gideon Falls, Oblivion Song, and Death of Doctor Strange is solid, by the way,
Really?
guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for Lilo Star, it's The Many Deaths of Lilo Star.
Yeah, The Many Deaths of Lila Star. Doctor Strange, Oblivion Song, and the new Jodie Hauser Doctor Who book coming out because her last series was great on it called, and this new one's called Empire of the Wolf.
You just recommended
nice.
Jodie Hauser. Sorry,
I didn't like her either, but her Doctor Who was solid.
She's got some decent Star Wars out there. It's true.
Okay,
Jerome, what do you recommend? You got any bangers on there?
I only got bangers.
I am running with Doc on this one. The Infernos. I just saw that yesterday. Actually, I saw the first issue when I was at work, and I was blown away by that. That first issue was amazing. The way how it was laid out, how it was structurally done, it was out the park. So I gotta catch up. I'm going to walk into number 2. I just saw number 2 drop. I'm going to have to talk to one of my friends at one of his local comic shops, and I'll probably link up with him probably today or tomorrow to grab that issue so I can get in sync with that and be up to date, because I did see that you had a preview on it, but I had to dodge it with you and Skip. I had to dodge it because I knew I was behind the ball. So that book, that's the must-see one.
All right. What do you say, Yul? What are you recommending down at Fantastic Comics?
I like the new issue of Amazing Spider-Man written by Kelly Thompson. It didn't suck. And,
Heel turn. Didn't see it coming. Way to go.
I've been okay on board with this Ben Reilly story until it really starts upsetting me. I'm enjoying it. That if you're looking for back issues, I've been finally starting to read Nexus by Mike Barron and Steve the Dude Rude. And it they haven't totally got their flow by the third issue yet, but it's good, it's solid, you know the characters already, and something I would recommend. And then keeping with the theme, Red Room, definitely pick those back issues up. The trade's coming out soon, and I would recommend that. I like it a lot. It is torture porn or whatever you call it, but it also reflects back on you as the person reading it, and I think that hasn't lost its appeal to me as of yet.
Here we go. We got Infamy or Death from I believe Dublin. I recommend DC versus Vampires, Gunslinger Spawn, Long Halloween, Echo Lands, and Task Force Z.
Oh, DC versus Vampires is out?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yes.
Jervain spoke on that too. Yeah, Jervain definitely gave me the heads up on that. I gotta check that out.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
Also, did you guys read Death of Doctor Strange?
No, sir.
No.
Didn't come out this week.
It was
Came out
no,
last
it
week.
didn't come out this week. It came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's solid.
Did he even die yet?
What? Wait. Well, yeah, kind of.
Are you guys riding with a Savage Avengers 2? By the way, I think I had to.
That's over.
It's
No,
over.
it's
Like
ending.
it's
It's
done.
in December.
Okay, then I
Well.
think I just finished that too with the Cullen Gaff. I think he him and Strange and Conan was finally about to confront him, and he took over the city, and it was like, this book got to end sooner or later because it's no longer an Avengers book anymore. It's like it's Conan all the way, But I don't know.
It's arguably the best of the series. Those last few issues.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm sorry, Jay, but it's kind of better than the Avengers in some cases.
It is better than the Avengers.
It is. No. Avengers went downhill hard after 40.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Went hard downhill after 4.
Okay, I'll start.
It didn't even last. It didn't even last until the first arc before.
Avengers kind of started sucking once they did that crossover into, was it Worlds of whatever, the Thor
War of the Realms.
So about issue number 9 is when it died for me. But Kenneth Dowling is in here. He says, I'm recommending The Long Halloween. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, being very generous. This was surprisingly good. I loved it as well. Thor 18, I agree. Richard Dragon could take Batman. That's ridiculous. Batman literally beat Superman.
I don't know if I said that.
Well, he says you said it, so that means it's a
I'll
hot
take
take.
it, man. Yeah,
Richard Dragon can be Shang-Chi. Definitely the Denny O'Neil version. Dixon also. Great show, guys. Lots of fun piece. Well, thank you very much, and I definitely appreciate you supporting the channel. I know there wasn't a whole lot of big news or stories to talk about, but I think we had a fun time today. And it's crazy that there's not really a whole lot to talk about, but you guys still tune in. We're still at like 200 people for well over an hour and a half. So that's crazy. Really appreciate all the support. And who else we got? Oh, Drew, what are you recommending this week?
Oh, hey, I've got a few. Sean and I read every book every week, so I got a few. Deathstroke Incorporated #2. This is actually a lot of fun. Howard Porter's art is amazing in that. You want to talk about straight comic book art? That is his art. Long Halloween Special is a lot of fun. And Black and Gold Wonder Woman #5. The first story by Peter Tomasi is arguably one of the best Wonder Woman stories of all time. It is fantastic.
Wow.
It's a short story.
Yeah.
Peter Tomasi gets a character.
Yes, it is a short story, but it's one of those where Sean and I read it. We're like, this should be like a year-long story, not a short story. This should have been Wonder Woman for a year. Just her in hell saving a friend. It is amazing. And Echolands, arguably the best illustrated comic book out there right now. It is amazing. J.H. Williams III. He's amazing. And Gunslinger Spawn right there. That's straight up fun. But next week, we did a little sneak preview review of it. Dark Knights of Steel #1 next week. You do not want to miss out on this. This is so much fun. I'm not going to lie. So much fun.
All right. Well, I don't have a lot. You guys covered all the comics I would recommend. So I'll recommend Robin #7. Not quite as great as the series has been, but it's still really damn good. Love the art by Gleb Melnikoff. And we finally getting some of that Mortal Kombat tournament action. We're down to the final 2, but at the very, very end. Thank you very much to Chuck Gibson. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Do we have any alibis before we sound off? All right, Jimmy, what's your line?
Jim.
Take it, bitch. Take it.
Yeah. Whatever. We're out of here.
I was on mute. Sorry. Watch your ass.
Yeah.
And